Hey, everybody out there in
Talkland.
Snarf Land.
Snarf Talkland.
Snarf Talkland.
That's our catch now.
We are here. We are excited. We're waiting for Facebook to see if it's going to work.
It's there.
It's there.
We're there.
You there?
We're there. We're live. Get used to it.
Yeah, you guys. You people. Get used to it.
As you can see, we got a special guest in the studio.
I'm
The
supposed
dude
to
is
do
here
something.
with us.
He's not prepared.
Jerry
as usual.
is just screwing it
It's
all
been
up.
a long time since I've been on, and I'm glad to see not much has changed. Wow, Jerry, that's well timed.
Is that the guy that we're?
Yeah. Yes. Actually, you're going to do the sad trombone.
Oh,
Dude is with us.
thanks, dude, for joining in.
Thanks for having me, Chris.
David says, Vic says buy Bitcoin.
Of course he did.
After eroding all of our listeners' wealth over the last year.
Yeah, no kidding. I've been getting a lot of emails about Ethereum and a bunch of Bitcoin and stuff, and they all have been negative. Don't buy crypto right now. Don't buy it.
Vic is one of those crypto people, so he's going to say, what do they say? Buy the dip.
Yeah, buy the dip, man.
Buy the
it's
dip.
It's going down. You got to buy on the dip. You get it on the high.
Oh, Mr. Field is with us.
Matthew.
Hey there.
Hey, man.
Oh, Matt.
David says, hey, I can see you, unfortunately. Well, that's
nice.
Not very nice.
I mean, you don't have to watch.
Speaking of David, you and him had a little steak venture.
Yes.
We did have a steak venture.
You haven't told us about that.
Yeah.
I haven't. So David and I embarked on a competition cooking adventure, and it all sparred from like a Sunday afternoon where we were at his cousin's garage in Dwight, and they're like, hey, there's a competition steak cook-off in Dwight coming up next weekend. And
this was like a national contest type of deal?
It is. It's a national thing. So it's the SCA.
Kind of a big deal.
Kind of a big deal. The SCA, it's the Steak Cookery Association. You can look it up. There are people that travel around the country that cook steak, and it's just like the KCBA, like the Kansas City Barbecue Association, where they cook like ribs and pork butts and all this stuff. Like anything you've watched on TV where you see like barbecue, it's the same thing.
Yeah, it's all those people plus David and Jerry.
Yeah.
Cooking steak.
In a broken down ass tent.
It was pretty.
We did.
It was pretty sad, man.
It was absolute terrible conditions. You have to agree. It was cold, rainy, and we had a canopy that we like tilted to the side.
It looked like like Oscar the Grouch lived inside of the thing.
It looked like a heroin tent, like where people came to like get their fix.
Is that a heroin tent?
I think it looked like that
Is
at
that
the
where
time.
people do heroin?
It looked like
Do
where
the
people
heroes?
came and was like, "Hey, you got my goods, man.
You got my fix.
You got my fix.
You got the dust."
And we give them little pieces of steak, and they'd go run away.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was definitely a learning adventure because you do not cook steak in a competition like that like you do at home. So everybody that cooks a steak and says, like, this is the best steak I've ever cooked, probably is. And I could cook a steak at home that was twice as good as what I cooked, like what we cooked at this competition.
So what'd you cook it to?
You have to cook it at a perfect medium. It has to be 140 degrees, like perfect medium. You have to have perfect grill lines at a 45-degree angle from each other. You have to trim all of the fat off the outside. Everybody always says, like, you want the fat on the outside. Yeah, I agree. Yeah, not in a competition. They don't want that.
Terrible.
There's like a svengoolie piece of meat. I can't remember what it's called. All I called it that night was svengoolie. But if you look at a ribeye, there's like one little, like thin piece of meat. It's a
technical term.
Yeah, it's clearly the svengoolie. Everybody knows this.
Oh my God!
You want to portion that.
You need to raise your hands so people can see your hands
towards your belly button. You want to put the svengoolie towards your belly button.
Did you rub the steak? Did you season it? On your belly?
No, you
You
want
like rubbed it around on your
No,
stomach.
it just needs to point towards your belly button when you put it in
Kind of like what was it?
presentation box.
In like Waiting, where he seasons it with his dandruff. Was that what you were doing?
or the bat wing.
No way.
I mean, when we got there, they were David and Jerry were yelling at each other.
Yes, they were. They were fighting.
Yeah.
It's done. It's not done.
No, it's
David said,
it's intense.
oh man, we have so many comments. Jerry, I've changed my tune. We're going for top 15 next year.
Yeah,
I know.
You got 19th, right?
Out of what?
18th.
You have the score sheet.
Oh, shh.
Didn't bring it.
No, I think I gave it to.
I think it's in my truck.
Yeah.
We were 18 out of 21.
All right, we got a lot of people to say hi to. Hi, Mandy. Hi, Scotty. Hi, Heather.
Listen, I told David to begin
Lisa.
with, we were in the teens. Regardless, we were in the teens.
Man, you
and
made
he's
it.
like, nope, we're last. This is over. My life is over. I'll never do this again. We can't commit to cooking steak ever again.
That's a true story.
I was like, calm down.
That's
man.
real.
Okay,
Like, the whole time.
Matt wants to know, how do you tenderize your steak?
19 out of 22. We were 19 out of 22. So you don't tenderize your steak. You get your cut of meat. You get your cut of meat.
You put
It
it
is
on your
what it
belly.
is. You got to season it like at the time. A lot of people, I went to, fun fact, number 1 and 3 in the nation were there.
Yeah.
Husband and wife. We went down to their
Number
trailer.
1 and 3 in the competition. I don't know about the nation.
No, the nation ranks.
So they just so happen to be rank in Dwight exactly like they do.
It's
in their,
not in Dwight. It's a national rank for the SCA. Like the competition we were in, the Steak Cookery Association. It's across the country. They have
By
different.
the way, Scotty says that you made that word up.
It's you can Google it. Like that's how you find the
I'm
Okay,
competitions.
listen, the competition was in Dwight out of 22, and the person that got first and third were a husband and a wife.
No, they weren't. They didn't even get first and third. They got like fourth and sixth.
The people that walked up smoking the Marlboro Reds at the
Yeah.
end.
Those aren't the people. I'm
Oh,
talking about
okay.
people that are ranked
So why is
nationwide.
it always husband and wife teams?
Well, I don't,
Who do you think's carrying the
I
heavy
don't
load?
know. I'm not asking those questions.
Is
What
that
I'm
the-
telling you is like the fact is across the nation there are competitions through every state, and you either go to those competitions or you don't. And that husband and wife team from Rock Island or Rockford, they're from Rockford.
Same thing.
They were gone 20 or like 47 weeks out of the year, 47 weekends out of the year. They went to a competition. Like it's beyond.
Okay,
what
David
you
said
can-
the wife won last year's national standings, and the husband won 2 years ago. Those two finished top 10 in Dwight, but didn't win. Okay.
Right.
So it's not the Steak Cookery; it's the Steak Cook-Off Association.
The Steak Cook-Off Association. Yes.
You
I
said
cookery.
cookery.
What the fuck does that matter? Cookery or cook-off?
These things matter, Jerry.
No,
if
it
you were
doesn't.
serious about your craft,
You know,
you take the time to even know the
It's
name
like
of
you're
the.
in charge of a lock or
Even
something.
Mandy
that
says on here,
dictates
the
the flow of
SCA.
water to it.
The SCA. Just Google SCA. You don't have to know what it stands
Lisa
for.
said, as a couple, they know their meat well.
They do.
Ooh, wow.
I tell you what, go to their trailer and they'll teach you a lot about
Yeah,
meat.
as they're smoking Marlboros and ashing all over the freaking steak.
No, they didn't. They were
It's
all about
secrets in the spice.
pinning. You had to pin the steaks the correct way. You had to tie them the correct way, trim them the correct way. It was intense.
David also said, dude spent more time on his hair today than Harf and Jerry have spent collectively on their hair in the last decade. That is
It's true.
100%
That's
true. I don't know that
1000%
I've
true.
ever brushed my hair since the 8th grade when I made like the part down the middle with the bull horns on the front.
It's because
I,
I still have
Did
hair.
you ever do
David.
that?
I'm
It's 'cause
losing
I
my
still have
hair. I'm losing my hair significantly, and I don't.
Because you guys wear hats.
I don't
all
want
the time.
people to look at it.
That's a myth.
That's a myth.
It's like
Yeah,
the
complete myth.
Mountain Dew and sperm count thing.
It,
You ever remember that when you were a kid?
No.
When we were kids at
listen,
baseball.
listen. When I was a kid, never worried about my sperm
Listen,
count.
when we were
Chris,
kids at baseball at the park, will you let me tell a story?
did you worried about?
What the hell is wrong with you?
I didn't say I came up with this, but that was
You
what people
worried
said.
Like, what age were you worried about your sperm count?
When we were little kids at baseball, we'd go drink Mountain Dew, and all the kids would say, like, don't drink Mountain Dew. Messes with your sperm count.
Like,
No, I don't.
I didn't worry about my sperm count until I got married, and then even then, I really wasn't.
Were you worried then?
If somebody told
Okay.
me that when I was a kid, I'd be like, "What's that?"
Somebody else
You knew what
Heard that
As
as a child.
here we go.
You knew
In the
what
90s.
You knew
Yeah.
what your sperm count was.
90s was such a
when
great
you were
decade.
child. What?
Hey, you don't need to get a vasectomy, Jerry.
This is-
Just drink loads and loads of Mountain Dew.
Yeah, none of this is true. I do not remember any of
Okay.
that.
Can drinking Mountain Dew lower my sperm count? John Hopkins University here. The rumors have been around for years. Many people have heard this urban legend.
Regardless of that,
But Mountain Dew cannot be used as some kind of male birth control.
guess what?
Well, no
In
case
Mazan,
you're wondering.
in Mazan grade school, I did not know about this
Yeah.
myth. And the people you were hanging around with,
David Seedentop said he remembers that.
well, that's why he didn't become a dad until much later. in
Yellow
life.
5 was a danger ingredient. See, there you go.
Why do you people know this?
I am shocked and appalled.
Is this what you concern your life in?
Yeah.
All I'm saying is that it was an urban legend that was around when we were kids.
Guess what?
That's
I was
what
worried.
people were talking about when we were
My
kids.
mom told me to worry about the railroad tracks in Verona.
No
and that's
shit.
the only thing I worried about.
I mean, I got
Okay.
Like you didn't spend a million hours walking up and down those tracks with chewing tobacco.
Turns out I was a lot safer than Yellow 5. To you guys. All you guys worried about was like, should I be ingesting
Scotty
Yellow
says
5?
he remembers that too. Maybe you're just too
What?
young, Jerry. Well, David
Scotty's younger
remembers
than me.
There's
See?
no way Scotty's younger than you.
Yeah, he's younger than me.
it. Anyway,
You're like
Scotty Lee, tell me your age. Younger than me.
point being, it was a thing. It was an urban legend. It was commonly passed around.
Can I finish talking about steak cookery?
I thought we were talking about meat.
Yes. Talk about tenderizing your meat.
It was
please.
fun.
You know, after the competition, though, after you guys did pretty well, actually, I think for the first time, you didn't get last.
So to be honest, like let's be serious. It is a serious thing that all of these people are taking overly serious.
Oh, yes.
Scotty is,
And-
he's 31.
Yeah. See, I'm 4 years older than him.
Matt wants to go back to what Beanie Baby that you like the most.
Oh, Jerry, the koala.
Is there a reason? Just the name?
Just his name. It's like a meta
What was
type joke.
what was your favorite Beanie Baby? Do you remember?
I didn't have any Beanie Babies.
You didn't have any Beanie Babies?
No.
How are you going to retire?
Through hard work and saving money.
No, no,
everybody
no,
else.
That's the dumb way to do
Yeah,
it.
that's so dumb.
If you got on the crypto Beanie Baby
Yeah.
trend, maybe an NFT.
Honestly, Beanie Babies came about way before the NFTs or cryptos.
It was the first original NFT, really.
It
Like,
really
remember-
is. You're right.
NFBB, non-fungible Beanie Baby.
What the fuck?
Non-fungible.
Fungible Beanie Baby.
Oh my god.
Anyway, so steak.
Lisa said 90% of koalas have chlamydia.
It's true. They're terrible animals.
Really?
Oh, they piss all over themselves.
They need some Mountain Dew.
Oh, they're so bad.
Anything-
No, they got the yellow 5, man.
My favorite was Benny the Bull.
I don't know what the ostrich's name was, but I always loved ostrich.
Don't remember the
Yeah.
ostrich.
I loved ostriches.
I had none of these things.
Well, we had tons of them. My grandma bought them.
Listen up. I don't know why the koala was named Jerry.
Maybe I'm just too old.
But I remember his name was Jerry. And it turns out, that's what people call me.
You have chlamydia and you piss all over yourself.
Oh, yeah, every day. I'm like, I'm full of chlamydia. Look at me. Just,
Okay, that's enough of that.
I just pee on myself. But that's why I'm likable. You can have a cute face and pee on yourself and people love you.
All right.
What world do you live in?
A koala's world.
What beanie was the tie-dyed? Yes, that was a bear, Matt. I believe that's like the most valuable one. If you have that tie-dyed bear.
Oh,
Wasn't that
It was like
Jerry
a,
Garcia ripoff thing?
yeah, it was like the Coca-Cola bear, like a, the Ice Age bear. What's that called?
No, it was not. It looked like
No, it was like a.
It looked like a Grateful Dead
polar
bear.
bear. A
It looked
polar
like-
bear.
It
It's
looked
this
like a,
one.
Yeah.
Well, it's like a polar
Peace
bear.
Bear Beanie Baby worth $50,000.
Are you freaking kidding me?
If you got that, Matt,
Matt, if you have the Peace Bear,
with the tag on it,
50 grand right now on eBay.
yeah, that's Etsy actually.
Well, okay,
Let's
Etsy.
see what it's
then.
going.
Etsy's a little higher price.
You
than
can get the one without the
eBay.
peace symbol for $7.49 on Walmart.
$7.49.
I wonder if that person's going to get 50,000, seeing as how this guy's selling it for
Oh,
$4.
that's not the same bear, is it?
That doesn't even look like a real
Yeah.
Beanie Baby. That's a counterfeit. That's the problem with NFTs and Beanie Babies.
Yeah.
Counterfeits.
Not NFTs.
You can't counterfeit them.
No.
What's an NFT?
NFTs are
It's a non-fungible token.
right, but it's a digital. It's a digital token. It has a digital stamp that you can never recreate.
All right, here we go. This is for real. It's got to have the peace sign,
Yeah.
and it's 26,500 right now on eBay.
Oh my
so
god.
there you go, Matt.
He said, "I'm selling that bitch. It's worth anything." If you legitimately have that, you can make money, like significant amount of money.
It'd be gone if I had it.
David says everyone knows the best way to get rich is to farm, be an online tree sales middleman, podcast, and play solo acoustic guitar sets at Potbelly and Champagne on Wednesdays. I did do that.
What about the Princess Diana bear?
Don't know.
Everybody's
Princess
talking
Diana.
about Princess Diana bear.
Large Wallace the squid worth $600,000. I'm telling you, man.
Beanie Babies are where it's at.
I told you.
I
Hey,
told you to collect them.
We have some Star Wars figures in our barn somewhere that I need to dig out. And
Not even close to the Beanie Baby trade.
$600,000 for a stuffed animal.
So I went over
Who
to
would buy that?
Well, people got in an argument over their divorce, and they were like splitting up Beanie Babies. You remember seeing that?
Yeah, there's a documentary about it. All these people that put their whole life savings in them and then
Yeah.
they lost everything.
Right. Nobody got anything. Apparently, they didn't have Wallace the squid.
No, but I did go over to it'd be my brother-in-law's mom's house, and the kids were over there.
So your brother-in-law's.
Yes, and she brought over
You're
this.
your mother-in-law.
She's like, I think I got some toys for the kids. She brings out this box of toys, and it is 100% all the original Star Wars characters. It's got the Boba Fett with the cape and the missile launcher on the back.
and you're like, stop.
And I'm like,
stop touching.
don't give those to me. I'm taking them home right now.
So we have the R2D2. I know for a fact that has a lightsaber that comes out of his head.
Nice.
Yeah.
It's not a lightsaber.
It's not a lightsaber, dude.
What is it?
Well,
It's not
Boba Fett didn't carry a lightsaber.
No, it's R2D2.
R2D2. It's from the sail barge, Jerry.
Yeah.
Jabba's barge.
I gotcha. Now I gotcha.
We have a Snarf Jerry.
Snarf announcements.
A Snarf announcement right now for everybody while you're listening. Listen up, folks. Snarf Talk Coloring Contest 2022 is in full force right now.
It's live.
Launched today. It's live. It is a coloring contest. It goes till July 1st is
Yes.
final submissions.
Go to snarftalk.com.
/coloring.
Coloring.
Go to snarftalk.com and on the top of the page it says coloring contest.
Either way, you can also go to our Facebook page, Snarf Talk, and find anything you want. Like the top post is our coloring contest.
Yeah, /coloring it is. And there is the picture you can download, print off, color. There's 2 brackets. There's children 12 and younger. And the prize for the winner on that is a $25 Amazon gift card and stickers, Snarf Talk stickers. And there's a children and adults 13 and older category. And that wins a $50 Amazon gift card. There is no restrictions
stickers.
on what kind of coloring method you can use, what kind of stuff you can use to color with, colored pencils, pastels,
Yeah.
paint, watercolors,
Yeah.
You want me to show
Digital
the picture?
art.
digital art, whatever you want.
Do you want me to show the picture?
Yeah.
Yeah, put the picture up. So this is the picture live that dude has on
It's
his
not coming through. There it is.
screen. That is not. Oh, it's showing up pretty well. There it goes.
Yeah. It's
So Eric
Eric
Macias. Iman Macias is his name on like Instagram, but Eric Macias has drawn our picture for the last 5 years, 4
Yeah.
years, something like that. He's also drawn stickers for us,
yeah, he created these original stickers.
which
for
we
us.
have a new sticker. If anybody is curious, right here, new Snarf Talk sticker. These are what you're going to get with the winning entry.
Oh, and the adult winner, if they happen to be from Grundy County, Illinois, will get a brand new in the package Champs Chicken visor from the old Champs Chicken in Mizan, Illinois.
You have those?
I got a whole box of
Are
them.
you shitting me?
For real. Champs Chicken, old school visor.
When was Champs Chicken even around? Like how long ago?
That had been like way.
That was before Marshallone's.
No, it was the last thing before it closed. Was Champ's Chicken. I was out of college. I was living back here.
You're talking about the market?
Yeah.
No, I was at the market going there all the time when I worked at the elevator, and I don't remember a Champ's Chicken.
Well,
Neither do I.
it was there. I don't know what to tell you.
You sure?
I was
Yes.
there when it was Geo's.
After Geo's, it was Champ's Chicken.
Best job I ever had in my
Late
entire life.
2000.
Okay.
Like 2006 to 2010.
So it's a visor.
It's a visor.
Just straight up visor, Champ's Chicken.
Beige, has a chicken on it, and says Champ's Chicken.
How many do you have?
I want 'em.
Enough for one winner. Lucky winner.
Enough.
I maybe got.
It doesn't
5 or
matter.
6 of 'em.
Doesn't matter. Enough for the winner.
Need to
And
wear those to
Lisa
the
asked,
bunker crop.
can you paint in blood?
Why would
It's
you ask
encouraged.
that?
Yes,
But you're
absolutely.
going to need more color dynamics than that.
If you want to do that.
Yeah, splatter paint. We had an interesting last year, an interesting submission from somebody in, were they in South Carolina?
South Carolina, yeah.
It was weird.
That's
It was
a
cool.
It was cool.
It was a cool drawing, but very abstract.
Yes. So Snarf Talk coloring contest, go to snarftalk.com/coloring or on our Facebook or snarftalk.com and click the link at the top in the navigation, and you will get to do that. You just print it out yourself and then email it back to
Right, so
email a picture of it or scan it. And
So
email it.
print
When's
the
it gotta be in
picture,
by?
July 1st.
July 1st.
print the picture, color it. You'll have to scan it to email it to us. If you win, we want the original back.
We get the original. It goes on the wall.
So we will hang it on the wall here in the Snarf Talk studios. So just don't get rid of it until you hear the winner.
Right.
Because we will want that back to hang it in the studio.
That's a picture of us that got drawn C2E2.
Yeah.
Yes, absolutely.
The Mandalorian drawing.
It's pretty cool.
Other announcement. We are on a bit of a milestone episode here.
151.
151.
151 episodes.
And what does that mean? It means we had our big 150 celebration
With a cake.
with a cake. Jerry called the episode "We Got a Cake," and he missed the obvious "Let Them Eat Cake," which should have been the name of that
Right.
episode.
Yeah. I miss a lot of things.
Yeah, Jerry, we know.
But 151, so we're on a whole new trajectory.
It's a brand new year. It's a brand new season. We are legitimately on a brand new season.
Yeah, you
It's
probably need
season-
to change the numbering on that, but
No, we just changed it. It's season 5.
I don't think you ever did, though. Did you?
No, this is the one that changes it.
No, it's always at the first of the year.
Nope. We had a discussion about it.
Oh, we did?
Yeah.
Okay.
We'll talk about that off air. You're normally right, though. Yes.
All
That
right.
normally happens at the first of the year.
All right. So, anyway, with that, what are we doing?
Well, I'm going to tell you about peanut butter, Chris.
Oh, is this a spring stretcher?
You know,
This
I
is
don't
gonna
know
be this is gonna be entertaining. I can't wait for this one.
I don't know if it's a
What?
spring stretcher. I just honestly want to tell you about peanut butter.
Okay.
And what I feel like is like good
Okay.
in peanut butter because there's so many varieties. Like,
And I'm a bit of a peanut butter aficionado myself.
well, we're not going to agree. I can tell you that.
What
Like,
you been doing with the peanut butter, Jerry?
as soon as I look at you, I can tell. Like, we're not going to agree on peanut butter.
Really?
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Listen up. Peanut butter is so simple. It's such a simple thing. And everybody has made it so difficult throughout the years. Like, as you get into different diets and the way people want to ingest things, and then you're like, well, you got to have all natural stuff, and you got to have this, and we can't have sugar. Don't have sugar. Fucking grind up peanuts, okay? And then put them in a jar. I don't care if you had sugar or not.
So you grind and
Give
make your own
me-
peanut butter.
No, I don't. I'm wholeheartedly.
I was
So what?
No.
So you're
What?
just judging all the like
Oh.
food processors?
Terrible. It's ridiculous. I'm judging like the promotion of it.
Okay.
I like simple peanut butter.
Okay.
I want to buy it from the store. I
And
want it to be good.
They
Chunky-
have simple peanut butter at the
so
store.
I
chunky,
know.
chunky or creamy?
Creamy. Are you a chunky yet?
No.
No,
Is anybody a chunky
I
person?
used to be when I was a kid.
Really?
Yeah, I liked it when I was a kid, but I do not eat it now.
I like
did
the
you,
all
did
natural.
you have like a problem as a kid? Nobody liked chunky. Nobody wanted
I don't know.
chunky
I liked it
peanut
when I
butter.
was a kid.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, I don't know about that.
So are you all natural? Are you like Jeff? You want the food processed? Well, come on.
Yeah, yes, I want it completely processed. Peter Pan. What is that? Get
Peter
rid of
Pan's
it.
good stuff.
No, it's
Yeah.
not. Get rid of Peter Pan.
Is
It's
there
a joke. It's on the same level as Reese's.
That's all I had as a child was Peter Pan.
Is there
Yeah.
such thing as
Worse.
bad peanut butter?
Yeah, there is. Peter Pan joke. It's like the only reason you like wanted that is because of the movie. It didn't happen because it
No.
didn't happen
I wanted
until
it
the
be-
movie came
I
out.
wanted because that's what Mom bought.
Yeah,
Yeah,
exactly.
Well, that's a joke. Reese's.
that's
Yeah,
ridiculous.
Come on.
it's horrible. It's only good in candy bars.
That's no good.
And
Listen.
Reese's peanut butter cups.
So you have chocolate covered in what you call peanut butter? Like, no, stick with your trade, which is a candy bar.
Okay, so
Stay
what
over
are
there.
you going with?
Get
here?
rid of that.
I had no idea. you
Goober. Have you had the goober?
It's made in Streeter, Illinois.
said- Yeah, why wouldn't you?
Nobody wants to go to Streeter, first off.
It's homemade.
Also, nobody wants grape with the peanut butter. You don't want to scoop in and get both of those things. Nobody wants that. You do?
No, I never liked goobers, but it is made locally here. So
I don't care. It's not good.
no, it's not. That is correct.
Right. Don't argue with me. Don't just stand there and wait to argue.
I'm not
with me.
arguing with you.
You're
I
like-
just agreed with you.
You're
What
like
is going on
postured
right now?
No, you're like postured, ready to like argue with everything I say. Goober's terrible.
Adam says
Peanut
Skippy all the way.
Ooh.
I'm not a big fan of Skippy either.
So what peanut butter?
I had
gets you
that on my list.
What
Like
peanut
Skippy,
butter?
not that great.
What peanut butter gets you going?
CJ says I'm weirded out by people who put peanut butter on cheeseburgers.
I am too.
I didn't know that was a thing.
I think there is a cheeseburger at Burgers and
There's a-
Beers that has peanut butter on
or
it.
is it
the
eggs?
Burgers and Beers has a peanut butter and jelly.
Cheeseburger.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, I don't want that. Skippy, it's okay.
You're getting there. That's like acceptable brand.
The all natural stuff where you gotta like
Mix the oil in.
Mix the oil and stuff?
That's where I go right there.
no, I want no part of it.
It's good. I like that too.
No, I don't want that. You gotta turn it upside down.
No, you don't.
What do
To
you like
store it.
then? Will you get to
Come
the
on.
You know what I like?
what?
Jif.
Yeah, me too.
Give me Jif.
I'm a Jif man,
It's that simple.
but I like Jif natural.
Which is yeah.
Try the natural. It's
okay,
the best
no,
one.
I'll
But you
agree
gotta-
because
you
you
gotta
don't
stir it up.
You got to
No,
stir it a
You
little
stir-
bit.
you just
No,
stir
you
it a
don't.
little bit.
The Jif natural, you really don't have to stir.
If you let it sit for a while, it will get a little put out oil, but not much.
It is not anything like a
No.
regular natural
No.
peanut butter where you have a thick layer of oil on the top where they say you need to turn it upside down. A lot of them will tell you on the directions, turn it upside down to store it, and then you stir it. I don't want that. I want the regular Jif. Give me Jif.
Maybe I
That's
got
all I
other
need.
shit that I worry about in life than peanut butter, but
I don't. I have nothing
no,
better in life to worry about.
So what do you actually eat peanut butter
This
on?
is what this podcast is, dude. Insignificant things that we seek out in life.
But I got a question. What do you actually eat peanut butter on? Do you eat it with a spoon, or do you put it on celery, or do you make peanut butter sandwiches?
Well, oh, don't even get me started on celery. Holy shit. Most useless nature's
Isn't it one of the
ingredient
Holy
ever.
Trinity?
Wow. It is. For cooking, it's fine. I'm not putting peanut butter on celery.
No, that's a waste.
What a joke.
I think you're both wrong.
I just eat it with a spoon. Just get like a tablespoon
Yeah.
and just
I'll-
eat
Nope,
it.
you're wrong.
When I was when I was in the army and we were like in the field, hadn't eaten much, everybody was fighting over peanut butter. Everybody was fighting over peanut butter because you're like needing some sort of like fast nutrients. And that was the best thing I've ever eaten in my life when you're like starving and you eat something really quick. I could feel my body like take it in. And no joke, I'm not. It was unbelievable. Like I could feel a difference in my body after I ate that peanut butter, and from there on out, I was like, man, peanut butter is shit.
Dan says dip the spoon in M&Ms.
I would do
After
that.
you,
That's a good idea.
Yeah, that's a good idea.
yeah.
I can't do that because
If you're diabetic,
I'm just
because your insulin problem.
no.
We don't have M&Ms at our house either, Chris.
Peanut butter on celery is the best way to eat celery, says
It's-
CJ.
No,
That-
CJ, come on, man.
David says
celery is the worst thing. in the
Peanut
world.
butter and bacon. Now that's good stuff.
Yep.
Yeah. Yeah, that is good.
David's
Jelly,
not wrong about
jelly
food very
jam
often.
flavor draft, black raspberry draft over.
I don't care
Hey,
about
you know
the
what
jelly
you-
part. I
peanut
only want
butter
the
I don't
flavor.
get what that means anyway. Jelly jam flavor draft.
Peanut butter flavored whiskey.
Oh, I see.
Jelly
He's
or
wanting us
jam
to rank
flavored
our
wrap.
flavors of jelly or jam.
Ooh.
Okay. Black raspberry.
I don't like
What's
black
the,
raspberry.
No.
It's got the little seeds in it. I don't like that.
I love raspberry jam. Strawberry's my favorite though.
Only one man would do the raspberry.
It's me.
Lone Star. It's from Spaceballs. Nobody watched Spaceballs?
Yes, now that you say that. I would do strawberry or grape.
Strawberry is my thing. A lot of people don't go with strawberry. I
Preserves
get it.
or
I don't care. Anything strawberry. Strawberry preserves, jam, jelly. I want the strawberry. I will also go with grape. It's fine. Like if you give me a grape jelly, like peanut butter and jelly, I would eat it.
David says they make seedless black raspberry. I'd give that
Ooh,
a shot.
yeah, I would too.
They also make you can do like orange marmalade.
Amy's always been about the black raspberry is it black raspberry or black?
Currant.
It's blackberry.
No, not black.
How about green pepper jelly? You guys ever had that?
Blackberry.
I
It's
do.
just
I like
blackberry.
jalapeno jam.
Jalapeno jam.
No,
or
just
green
it.
pepper. Yep.
Just blackberry. Blackberry jam.
Blackberries, all right. They have that. Yeah, I like it.
So that's what Amy always
Pancake
buys
House.
is blackberry jam. And it's fine. I want a
How
strawberry.
about boysenberry?
I want a strawberry.
Boysenberry, I've had boysenberry syrup. I've never had boysenberry jelly.
I get too poisonous. I do.
Boisterous, maybe.
Oh, that's
Yeah,
that's
the
what I
thing you're
meant.
thinking of.
Like
yeah.
I get too worked up over the boys.
Dan says peanut butter whiskey is delicious.
Yes.
Well, yeah, screwball.
If you mix it with something, you can mix it with something that does like a peanut butter and jelly shot.
Yeah, like jelly.
What were we drinking the night of Dan's birthday?
I don't
It
remember.
was screwball, and we were doing, the women were doing shots like they were like candy.
They were doing it, and by the time people get to the point where they can't really tell what they're drinking, we ran out of the peanut butter whiskey. So somebody was just sneaking regular
Yeah, cutting the bottle
Jack
down.
Daniels in there.
Right, and guess what happens after that?
Oh,
Your life ends.
Blackout City.
Yeah.
Yeah. The next day, ruined.
yeah,
It's done.
that was a long night.
All I wanted to tell you was that Jif, it's not Jiffy.
It's Jif.
It's just Jif.
Jif Naturals. It's the way to go.
Yep.
I would agree with you.
There you go. We can all agree.
Jif Natural. Don't give me the goober.
Or Peter Pan. Or Goobers.
No, don't give me the Peter Pan. It is a joke. Peter Pan is a joke. It's played off a movie. It's a terrible.
So if
terrible
all you
peanut
had to
butter.
eat was a Peter
Terrible
Pan,
peanut.
that's it. It's only you had a big like 5-gallon tub of Peter Pan. Would you eat it or starve?
If that's yes, I would eat it. Of course. That's a silly
No, you would
question.
just starve to death. So I'm going to tell you the truth. We only ever had Peter Pan as a kid until there was a big thing like in the 90s where they had to recall all the Peter Pan peanut butter.
Yeah, it was
because
poisoned.
of salmonella.
Really?
Yeah, and after that we never got it again.
Yeah, because it was poisoned with Peter's.
It probably was the
With-
Jif guy. It
It was the pan of Peter.
was probably the Jif guy that went
Peter's
over
pan. You know what I mean?
there. Adam says screwball and drambuie. That'd be good.
Peter's peony.
PB and J shot.
Ooh.
So I've told this story before, but it's relevant to the conversation, so I'm going to tell it again.
What's Drambuie?
It's I don't know. I mean, I've had it, and I usually am not to the point where I really remember.
Same here.
Right. I think that's where we're all at. I don't remember that, but he did say PB and J
Scotch
shot.
whiskey liqueur infused with
Grape.
something.
Grape.
I'm not putting in my age. Come on.
Gosh.
Honey, herbs, and spices.
That sounds great.
So it's just a sweet thing. Okay, when I was in college in Farmhouse, we had this cook that cooked, and his name was Ray.
Ron.
Ray.
Oh, Ray.
He was a big man.
Big man. So he would make homemade peanut butter like once a week or once every other week, and everybody'd be so excited because it was so good. Oh, Ray's making peanut
I
butter.
want Ray's peanut butter.
So one time I'm in there and I walk in the kitchen when he's making the peanut butter, and I was expecting
The butter of peanuts.
some kind of a process, right? All he was doing was taking like the 5-gallon pail of industrial peanut butter and dumping it into the big Hobart stand mixer.
Yeah.
And dumping in oil and sugar and just mixing
Making
it
it
up.
better. Just making it
Apparently,
better.
apparently you never read Kitchen Confidential, have you?
Why?
Oh yeah.
'Cause that's the kind of shit that happens all the time in restaurants.
That's all it was. And I just remember looking at it. I'm like, are you kidding me right now?
So David Seentep said
he was a great cook.
David Seentep said Peter Pan got me too'd, and everybody went to Skippy.
I don't think
I don't think that's the case, but I really don't appreciate his wings.
What about Reese's Puffs cereal?
Oh, they're so good.
That's the best.
It's pretty good. That's pretty good.
That is addictive.
It's a perfect combination of a puffy, crispy cereal with enough sweetness, peanut butter, and chocolate.
It's the
to
best.
just
It's probably
like
the best
an
cereal.
all-encompassing, and it doesn't coat your mouth bad.
No, it's
You
got
know
a
what I
nice
mean?
crunch to it.
You know when you get like a really sugary cereal, like
Yeah.
Fruit Loops. Fruit Loops will do it, and so does
Smacks. Corn smacks.
yeah, but Fruity Pebbles.
I haven't had fruit.
It'll coat the top of your mouth, like weirdly. If you eat a lot of it, it's like doesn't feel
Well,
nice.
you're not supposed to eat the whole box.
Yeah.
Oh wait, what's the serving size?
It's really hard to not eat the whole box of like when
Of
you get the
any
smaller
cereal.
cereal boxes, like not the family size, but
Wait,
the
wait.
regular size.
There's less than a family size.
There is.
Wait, there's less than the 48-ounce jumbo size that they sell at Walmart.
Yes.
Oh,
Jerry gets his cereal from Aldi's in 55-gallon drum liners.
they're bags.
And it's
I buy the
stale-
bags.
And it's stale in a day.
David said, Kitchen Confidential is my favorite book of all time and is better on audio with Bourdain narrating. Ooh, that's a good idea. I've been looking for an audio book to listen to.
There you go.
You know what you should listen to? Heir of the Empire.
David, I think
Heard
we
it.
did. We did. Oh,
Yeah.
I've read that like 5 times.
I know.
Cereal draft. I think we did that. We ranked cereal before.
we
Yeah,
did.
yeah.
We did.
You guys did.
Cinnamon
Yeah.
Toast Crunch. See, I was never a big Cinnamon Toast Crunch guy.
My kids just love it, and I've tried it because it's the only thing I had for breakfast several times, and I don't see the big hype on it. I mean, I don't like cinnamon to begin with, but it's just so every time I eat it, it reminds me of doing the cinnamon, watching people do the cinnamon challenge.
I'm not
It's
a
just-
huge cinnamon toast crunch guy either. I never have been.
I mean, I like Frosted Flakes a lot.
Who doesn't? I mean,
I love Apple Jacks.
Oh my
Apple-
gosh,
corn
Apple
pops.
Jacks.
You know,
Corn pops are fine, but
I thought the same thing. I remembered them fondly from my childhood. The other day, we got one of those like with the little boxes that has all the different kinds.
right,
And I'm like, corn pops. I haven't had these since I was 8 years old.
they're fine.
I poured a bowl of them. It wasn't fine. They were not good.
I don't think they're bad. I think they're just like fine. I don't want any more of them though.
you know, it's Kicks, just a plain.
No,
I can't handle
Yeah,
them.
man, just-
boring.
I used to like him as a kid. That's the one
That-
that I can't handle.
Oh,
I can't eat the kids.
I know my number one, Raisin Bran Crunch.
That was yours, yes.
That is my favorite cereal.
Isn't like bran flakes.
But the crunch, it has granola clusters
I
in it.
love like either Frosted Flakes or Chex or
Chex.
Wheaties. I love them.
Wheaties are good.
Chex is the same thing as eating Kicks. They're square.
No, they're just so much better. Kicks are round. I love Chex, man. Add a gallon of sugar. It's great.
Put some peanut butter on that shit. You'd eat that nonstop.
So
Nolan says, my
Nolan,
kid doesn't
yeah.
like peanut butter. Got some natural peanut butter from Burkhart's. He loved it. Turned out it was just Reese's peanut butter cups blended up. No wonder he liked it. It was diabetes in a jar.
Yeah, stay away from that.
Sounds like my kind of
I
diet.
switched to that Jif Natural when I went on like that low carb diet, and I like it better.
To be honest,
I-
Jif and Jif Natural are not any different
Yeah, it has less
Yeah.
sugar, less carbs.
taste wise.
Identical.
I'm saying taste wise. Identical things.
Gotta stay away from the sugars.
David says little boxes are different than big box, just like snack size candy bars are different than full size. I will actually agree with that because the little boxes are always stale. Have you ever noticed that?
Every one of them.
Because nobody buys them.
Every single time we go camping.
Yep.
You
They're-
open up a box of cereal and we pour them in and they're stale.
I was
every
thinking-
time.
I was
Brand
thinking the
new
same thing.
box.
The only time
Open
we
it
ever
up.
buy them is when we go camping, and then they're horrible.
We always get them, but half of the cereal
See, I
is
don't-
Rice Krispies, and you never eat those.
See, I don't buy them.
I don't know.
Rice Krispies is fine if you have enough like
You just gotta wait till they go stale. And you make Rice
bananas
Krispie
and
treats out of
sugar.
them.
Terrible.
Do you
TJ
put sugar
says,
on everything, man?
Everything.
CJ says Crispix.
You're gonna have diabetes.
I already do, probably. I'm sure.
That's not a joke.
I can get
man.
you some testing supplies.
Yeah.
You got some testing supplies.
Speaking of
Were you riding a horse in here earlier?
diabetes testing supplies, I hit you up with a fact the other night.
You did. It hit me to the heart.
Wilfred Brimley,
Hit me to the core of me.
the famous, it was Wilfred Brimley, right?
Yeah.
Diabetes testing supply guy, old West actor.
Western guy.
He was in a movie called Cocoon,
He was.
Steven
He was
Spielberg movie, where
like way back in the day.
aliens come for a bunch of retiree old people.
Wasn't
And then there's a return.
Steve Gutenberg's in it.
yeah, but wasn't
Yes, there was a return of Cocoon.
Yeah.
no, what's the guy's name?
I don't know, Jerry.
Jeffrey Goldblum.
Jeff Goldblum? No,
No, he was not
He was in
it.
Cocoon, wasn't he?
I don't think so. Steve Gutenberg.
Maybe that's what I'm
your-
thinking.
Anyway, the premise of the movie is a bunch of old people,
Yeah.
right? Wilford Brimley was only 49 years old when he made that movie.
What?
49. Look it up.
He was 9 years older than you, dude, when he made the movie Cocoon. Look a picture of him up in the movie Cocoon. He looks like an old man.
Very old man. So he told me that, and I immediately Googled it because I want to be like, what does he look like? And he looked like a 70-year-old man. Gray hair, like relatively gray hair. It was like kind of like salt and pepper hair, but he looked so old.
I'm sorry, I don't know. I don't remember, David, if Walter Matthau was also in Cocoon. He might have been, but Wilford Brimley was the main character in
Good
Cocoon.
Lord.
I don't think it's the same guy as Bad News Bears. Bad News Bears was Walter Matthau, right?
Correct, yes, Walter
Yeah.
Matthau.
That's Walter Brimley is different. It's a different guy.
I mean, he might have also been, and there was a lot of old people in Cocoon.
Yeah.
But Walter Matthau was the main character of Cocoon.
Correct.
Steve Gutenberg.
Also, I would venture to bet in Bad News Bears, Walter Matthau also looked like an old man, and he was probably in his 40s.
Well, you know I'm going to look that up right now.
If you're, there is a way I can show a picture, right? Yes, there is. No, I can't. You'll have to look it up on your own. But it's a crazy fact.
Yeah.
It is insane when you look at him. And we started talking about like the age of people nowadays compared to what people looked like then. Do you think the way we live is...
Well, I don't live particularly healthy lifestyle.
I don't think we necessarily live healthy, but do you think the ease of life is making us look younger?
I don't know, but when we were, or before we were little, 55 years old was like dead.
Yeah.
You were an old man. I was an old man.
But-
Yeah, I mean, you retired at 65. That's why you got Social Security, because most people didn't live past 70.
yeah.
So it's the ease of life. That has to be what it is. It's like everything in life is becoming so much easier for us.
I wouldn't say
So
that.
I
where
don't
you-
think so.
So I think we just have better health care in general.
But you're not digging ditches. You're not like out there like with a team of mules. Like you're not working.
Yeah, they weren't doing that in the 80s either.
Yeah.
But they were it when they were growing up in the 40s. That's the point. Is like those guys at
The
50
people in their 50s and the 80s weren't growing
Yeah,
up in the
but-
40s.
We have antibiotics. If you
they're
don't
50 years old in the 80s. They were born in the 30s. They were absolutely growing up in the 40s.
he's right.
Okay.
They were growing up
not
in the
wrong.
They were
40s
little
and 50s.
kids, but yeah.
Absolutely, they were little kids, but their life as a 10 to 20-year-old was growing up in the 40s, 50s, and 60s.
That doesn't mean they're digging ditches.
Yeah.
How do you know?
A lot of people weren't digging ditches.
Yeah. I mean, how
A
many?
lot of them were.
I mean, how many ditches
I'm
do you
not-
think they dug?
Okay.
Most people weren't digging ditches, Jerry.
Okay, yes. Digging,
In the 50s and 60s.
not necessarily digging ditches, but their life was significantly harder than what you are growing up with now.
That I
Their
would-
life was physically harder than what we have to deal with from the 80s until the 2000s.
Well, that's
so
why
therefore they have a physical toll on their body, which made them look older, I think.
I think it's just perspective.
Yeah.
I think it's just the perspective of what you see
Have you
when you're
watched-
young. I'm sure.
Have you
A,
seen the Golden Girls?
Listen, I'm sure an 8-year-old would look at a 55-year-old now and
think about your
that's a
dad.
old.
Think about your dad when you were a kid. When he was
My
your
dad
age.
has not aged. We can't use my dad. He hasn't aged. Like, at
Oh,
all.
do you not remember your dad when you were 10 years old when he was almost 40? You know,
Yeah,
he seemed like ancient to you.
but he looks exactly the same now.
But
I'm telling you.
I get the point.
yeah,
I
thanks,
do
Chris.
too, but look at the Golden Girls. Like, watch the Golden Girls, that show.
I mean, I remember
And all of those women were portraying like 70-year-old women. A lot of them were in their 40s and 50s.
No.
They filmed that. Yes, they were.
Yeah, the youngest one on the show was,
Was
actually
the oldest.
one in real
Estelle
life.
Getty. Estelle Getty was the mother of all of them, and then she was the youngest person on the show.
bullshit.
B. Arthur was the oldest person, and she was portraying like a 60-year-old woman. And she was like 40.
Is he right?
He is right. I mean, I don't know if he's got all the particulars right.
No,
but
I'm not saying
something along those
exactly
lines.
this is what it was. But Estelle Getty was the mom. And
Really?
She was the youngest person
I don't think
on the
she
show.
was the youngest one. I think the
Very
fact is
close.
that B. Arthur was older
older
than
than all of them. Than all of the other
I,
actresses.
yes.
Yeah. Look it up. I'm just
doesn't
telling
I'm
you.
looking it up.
We got to move
Yeah, it
along. We
doesn't
got to
matter.
do the news.
Old people look old. That's what we get out of that.
Fuck you, Jerry.
It always comes back to Golden Girls, no one says. I don't know. I don't know how we got on that. All my
Thank
point
you
is,
for being a friend.
look at Walter Matthau.
Walter Madden.
Not Walter Matthau. God
I
damn
gotta
it,
put
David.
that. I gotta put that on our thing.
Thank you for being a friend.
Travel down the road and back.
Do you
again.
remember, by the way, now at 151
Your heart
episodes,
is true. You're a pal and a confidant.
confidant. If
Go
you
ahead.
can work confidant into a song,
I will do that.
you're a
every time.
genius songwriter.
Yeah.
That's all there is to it.
Wow.
Okay. The first, since we're on a 151, we're basically old pros at this.
Uh-huh.
A little bit of a retrospective.
51.
For like the first 20 episodes, but maybe ish,
Yeah.
we had classic TV theme songs.
We did,
at
at
the
the
end
end
of
of the show.
every show. Do you remember that?
Yeah, I do.
We did Perfect Strangers.
A lot of people never heard those
No.
because they wouldn't,
Listen
you
to
didn't go out to the end of the show. But
Oh,
we
perfect.
did.
I
The
remember-
only reason we stopped doing that is because like we understood it was like copyright infringement. And
David said
Maybe-
at 35, Tank Snyder was firing fastballs in batting practice while wearing jeans and an FS Pearl Snap.
Probably unbuttoned
yeah,
most
I
of the
mean,
way.
it was the farmer's elevator. you
Oh,
know.
Dan said, I believe it was Mazan Farmer's elevator.
Yeah,
That is right.
it was. He didn't work for FS. That was the direct competitor.
Oh, and he never did work for FS either, did he?
Never.
No,
Nope. He quit.
better than work for the damn dirty fissers.
Yeah, he wasn't gonna do that.
All right. Anyway, news, Jerry?
News coming up is that we have a lot of shows that are going to premiere very soon.
I know. I can't wait.
We've had-
so much content coming.
We've
out.
had multiple. Hey, where's mine?
Right there.
Oh, all right. Thank you. We've had multiple.
Snarf Talk, by the way, sponsored by
Yingling.
Oh, we also have an ad that we got to do later.
We do?
Yeah. You want to just do it now?
Probably should.
Sure.
Snarf Talk Podcast this week is sponsored by Grundy County Combat Club.
Oh,
If you're looking to
I was not aware of
combat
your club.
poor health, if you're looking to combat anxiety, depression, if you're looking to combat low self-esteem,
Do you
join-
want to fight back on the way you feel?
do you want to fight the world,
Do you want to
Jerry?
fight everyone, including yourself?
Join Grundy County Combat Club. First lessons free, only $55 a month. Kickboxing, boxing, several lessons a week.
Brazilian
Mazan, Illinois,
Jiu-Jitsu.
right downtown in the old Mazan Market. Check it out.
Do you want to fight back your stepdad? Is that a thing? Should we say that?
You can say that.
Okay. You want to fight your stepmom once and for all.
Yeah. Fight your demons.
Grundy County Kickboxing
Oh,
Club.
this taking
Combat Club.
This taking a dark turn.
Combat Club. Do you want to fight your brother? once and for all.
CJ
like
said-
your older brother.
They sell that stuff in Illinois yet? No, they don't. But they send it to us, courtesy of the messenger, Miss Erica Fry,
Duchess of Snarf.
the Duchess of Snarf.
Duchess of Snarf.
Actually, she's a lady of Snarf now.
Have you been small your whole life and you want to fight back on the taller oppressor?
Have you looked at everyone around
Grundy
you and
County
noticed that everybody has larger
kickboxing.
hands than you?
Do you want these small hands grabbing on to Big Macs? And you want to fight? You want to fight back on the people that
It
hate
smells like
small
cabbage
hands?
too. Did you ever notice that?
Grundy County Kickbox and Fighting
Combat.
Combat Club.
I think you're going to join. Sounds like you guys are.
You need
Do you ever
to work some issues out. You need to join.
hate everyone else around you that's taller? Grundy County Fight Man Club.
Speaking of that, Jerry came over today. He had to borrow a measuring wheel.
Yes.
And I said, it's in the back of my truck. Come grab it. So he comes over.
I walked over the back of his
We're
truck.
talking about, he walks up to the back of my truck and he goes, well, how the hell are you supposed to get anything out of here? And I said,
No, you said you said you have to be over 5'10". I said, well, I can't do that.
You ever send your kid to go get something out of the back of the truck and he's got to climb over the tailgate to get it for you? When I see Jerry doing that right now.
Every day. That's my life.
So was in the back of the old red
The
truck?
worst thing.
no, in my new truck. But the worst part about it is I got a little bitty step ladder in the back of my truck. But he wouldn't be able to reach the step ladder.
No, I wouldn't.
It's because you're
Give me
so
the
short.
step. So, the best advice I ever got was from a guy up at Brandon Road, and he had a lunchbox tied to a string. Small guy. I said, "Why you got that lunchbox tied to a string?" He said, "Because I drive a big truck, can't get in the truck." He's like, "So I put my lunchbox down, I climb up on the lunchbox, and I pull it up back into the truck." And I was like, "Oh, pretty smart."
All the new trucks now have like steps that come down.
But they're huge. Have you noticed like how big the beds are on every new, even like a 150 or 1500?
No.
They're like really tall.
Yeah, they're taller. You got to get a Colorado, like a dude over here.
I should get a Colorado.
Everybody made fun of me till gas hit $4, and it's like, ha!
I didn't make fun of you. I like them.
I didn't make fun of you.
It's a good sized truck.
I'm small.
Elena said you need Ernadine's stool on a rope.
That's literally what I was just
No,
talking about with the cooler.
So she literally has a stool that she gets in a car, sits on 3 pillows. Well, you know what?
I just told that story.
She's about the same height as you.
No,
she's
way
significantly smaller.
My grandma had the same thing though. She'd
I
sit
just
on,
gave her a hug the other day.
pillows.
She's 93 years old.
I know, and that's fine.
She's amazing.
She's a wonderful woman. I love her.
All right, news.
Yeah.
I was talking about a lot of new trailers
shows.
that coming out.
Yes.
Like a lot of new shows. So Obi-Wan,
Oh, yeah.
Like soon,
like the 27th.
next week.
weekend.
Yeah.
Next weekend.
Very soon. We've been talking about it for a long time, and it is finally happening.
I'm so excited.
I can't contain it.
Just can't hide it.
The newest trailer came out 2 weeks ago, I think. The last one.
It looks amazing.
It gives me all of the feels between Obi-Wan and Anakin.
It does. It legit looks incredible.
Yeah.
I want to know in this show what happens between Anakin and Obi-Wan, like during that time, like the hiatus, like what's going on.
I don't think you're going to see.
I don't necessarily think you'll see anything between them besides a little bit. They might have a little connection.
No,
through
I
the
think
Force.
you see quite a bit because I've seen some press with Hayden Christensen, and he's been saying like,
I think
this will be and is the truest representation we have seen on screen of Darth Vader and of Anakin Skywalker and their dynamic with each other.
But do you think it'll be through the Force and not
No,
like physically
No,
together?
I think you're going to see Darth Vader / Anakin, how much hate,
Right.
and what really fuels him being a character.
Well, I hope they go the route of, if you're not familiar, there's a great comic book. Jerry Company with the writer, but it's the Vader Immortal series. Or not a Vader Immortal. The Vader series from Marvel. It's a writer we love. It's Charles Soule, isn't
Charles
it?
Soule,
Charles
yes.
Soule. And he does the best because it's early Vader. And what it is, what's it called? Is it Vader Down?
There's Vader Down, and there's just Vader.
It's Vader Down, that's what I'm thinking of, though. And it gives the best picture that we've seen of a young Darth Vader that's still not worked himself up the ranks of the Empire.
Right.
So he's very much taking orders, which he always kind of did from
But
like
and
Tarkin.
all
and
we're
whatnot.
left with at the end of like episode 3 is like him becoming Vader, and then you don't know what happens.
Yeah, all you see is later on when he's become kind of the number 2 in charge. But he was unsure of himself, and you see that in the comics, and I hope they do that in the show.
Because there's 2 comic runs. There's
They have-
Well,
Vader.
there's more than 2, but yeah.
There's actually 4 or 5, but yeah, there's Vader Down, and they're great because you actually see how much pain he's still going through from losing Padme.
I talked about
Oh, there's
it with Charles Soule at
You did.
Comic-Con. You were there.
Yeah.
And it was amazing. It was an amazing interview. It's on
and
that
you
phone
have
right
that
there.
videotaped.
Yes, we need to release that.
We were drunk.
No, we weren't. Not then.
Was that just me and you, or was
No, I was
It
not
was
there.
just me and you.
Yeah, we weren't drunk.
We might have been later on when I interviewed the guy that wrote the children's book, and then dude was getting really uncomfortable, and he's like, "Dude, we need to go." He was like yelling at me.
I don't remember that, but I was pretty drunk.
That was the first day.
No, it wasn't. No,
I was like-
we went to interview this guy. All right, and I was talking to him. He made a series of children's books about like feelings and how children can process feelings. And I get in this in-depth conversation with this guy.
About feelings.
And yes, and dude just keeps grabbing me. He's like, "We gotta go. We gotta go."
I think the guy was getting a little weirded
No, he
out by-
wasn't. You were getting weirded
I
out.
think it was more like he was weirded out. And I was picking up on the vibe, and you're like, "Wow, man!" And I'm like,
No, he felt the feelings.
Yeah.
"Yeah, you felt the feelings, but that guy didn't."
Whatever, dude.
He wrote the feelings.
Yeah,
Anyway,
it's a good day.
Obi-Wan.
Coming up, by the way, C2E2 in a couple months.
Oh yeah.
August.
August, we're going back.
Grace wants
Obi-Wan looks amazing. I think there's going to be, yes, I doubt you'll see them face to face a lot because that would,
Well, that would
plot-wise, that wouldn't
that
work.
would totally change canon.
But he's going to be off-world. I mean, he's not on Tatooine the whole time.
No, he's not.
He's all over the place. They're chasing him
They're
around.
chasing him. They're
Well, see-
hunting him down.
Well, I don't know from the previews. There's not much of Obi-Wan other than on Tatooine, but there's lots of
In the second trailer, there is.
not that I saw. I mean, I'm gonna go back and watch it again.
I'll have to go watch it.
Because I'm thinking this is more of the Inquisitors, how the Inquisitors play into the new world of Star Wars since.
It was my understanding that he was on the run and they were chasing him, and he was kind of coming and going from Tatooine. But
That's, I thought.
Yeah.
That's
I don't
literally
know.
what I thought.
anyway, next.
They started filming Ahsoka. Finally.
Oh, yes.
Production has
Can't
started for Ahsoka, which I'm super on board with. Like, obviously, everybody's on board with that. That was a small tidbit, but also Boys Season 3.
Oh, when does that come out? Is it soon?
June something.
It's
beginning
soon.
of June. I just watched the trailer for it like a couple hours before I came here. I think that I'm more excited about this season than any of the seasons of the show, based on the trailer.
And based on what we've seen.
I am really excited for it. It's just, I love the boys and how it's real world, and I can't wait to see what Homelander just. kill
No, I don't
everybody.
think it's going to be about Homelander. I mean, he's going to be involved, but I think
he's
there's
the-
so much more.
Yeah, I think he's the major. You know, they're spoilers for a trailer, but they're teasing serum that can give all the guys superpowers for
Yeah.
24 hours. Soldier Boy looks like an interesting kind of a Captain America clone, really, in a way.
I think they're honing in on Soldier Boy.
Yeah.
Soldier Boy.
I love the whole point. There's that one saying from, I forgot the character's name, but he goes, "You're becoming the one thing we fought against." And
Yeah.
when I heard that, I'm like, "Oh man, this is so much more than it has been the last 2 seasons."
Right. It
So much more
elevates everything.
The story.
Everything is elevated to the next level.
Nolan says exactly what I was thinking when I watched that trailer. I just want to see Homelander and the cow. I want to see what happens when he milks that cow. Is he going to just pull the guts out of that cow? I don't know.
You got to watch the trailer in order to know that. Like, Yes,
Obviously, he's doing some like a promo, like a video. I'm assuming,
probably.
so he probably doesn't, but maybe. I wouldn't put it past it. Boys. Anyway, what else?
She-Hulk.
I haven't seen the trailer yet. Terrible.
haven't?
I'm a huge She-Hulk fan, and I haven't seen it yet.
You're gonna love it.
So, yeah, I'm on board with all of
Yep.
it. I'm
on record. She-Hulk is probably one of my favorite characters
I
in the
know.
Marvel universe.
it's incredible.
Doesn't get the love that a lot of the other superheroes get, but the writing has always been really solid in the comic, and the
So
premise has always been very good.
Here's where I'm hesitant on all of this is that a lot of people have never read She-Hulk. Like nobody knows She-Hulk, right? So I feel like that trailer comes out and the show comes out and everybody's like, "Oh, it's just so woman forward and they're doing this." And it's like pandering, right?
No.
It's not at all.
I agree with you.
I don't know. I
It
haven't
is-
seen the
Well,
trailers.
the name of the show isn't just She-Hulk; it's She-Hulk Attorney at Law. Which that's what I thought. How they just didn't give like another stupid superhero name.
But
which-
I don't want people to think like they're putting a show out just to please
Like it's a
a
woke
female
thing?
audience. Yeah, like it's a woke thing. It's not.
That's been that character forever.
Exactly.
Yeah.
It has been. But coming into today's day and age where we've said it a lot, like where certain shows and certain things have became a bit woke. Like
Yeah,
on
For
a
sure.
lot of
And I got some examples in
situations.
my what I'm watching.
But this is not it. Like this show is not it. I don't feel like it's going to be that way.
I would agree. I doubt that they
If
would
you
do that.
like even watching the trailer, like it shows what the comic book kind of is, and it depicts what She-Hulk is, like with the Hulk in the mainstay. Like the Hulk is there. You see him in the trailer.
Yeah.
Bruce Banner or Professor Hulk,
Right.
however you want to look at it. Yeah.
Exactly.
So-
like he's very apparent, and it's nothing. I don't want people to think that this is a woke show that is like of the culture that we're
I mean, we don't know. We haven't seen it.
right.
I don't
We
see
don't
Marvel.
know.
I don't see
But right
Marvel
now, I think it's on
straying from their
point.
path.
No,
I think it's
they got
on-
a formula.
Yeah.
But either way, I think it's on point with the comic books.
So
from the trailer,
Cash was really interested in She-Hulk, probably around Christmas time because she came out on Fortnite. They had a She-Hulk on Fortnite. So I bought him like the compendium She-Hulk, like the whole compendium from Marvel, and gave it to him for Christmas. I'm like, oh, you can read it all. He read like 2 pages, and he's like, Dad, this is not appropriate. And I started reading through it. I'm like, oh, it's not.
oh right,
It's
Very
not, bro.
aggressive woman that
Yeah, it's not
really
kid
likes
appropriate.
really likes men.
Yeah. So, She-Hulk, I'm looking forward to it. I got another one that they announced today.
okay, what?
Daredevil
What?
coming back
Yeah,
with
to
a
the-
series
To the MCU
to the MCU on Disney
on
Plus.
Disney Plus.
Same
Charlie Cox,
Yeah,
same actor. They're bringing it back.
amazing.
I don't know all the details of it. I didn't read the full article, but it's got a series in production.
That gives me hope for Punisher.
I mean he has to come
Not on
back.
Disney Plus.
Why not?
That is one of the most violent shows I've ever seen.
Maybe,
But they
That-
do have like rated R stuff now. That was a big thing recently for Disney Plus, right?
yeah,
Well,
maybe
I
that's
mean,
possible. But
Disney made Touchstone Pictures back in the 80s, in the early 90s, whenever it was, just to be able to make
All right,
adult
I'll read
content.
it. New Daredevil series is coming to Disney Plus. Daredevil gets his introduction to the MCU. A new Daredevil series is on its way to Disney Plus, according to the report from Variety. So that's pretty, good source. Matt Corman and Chris Ord are attached to write and executive produce a new series for the hero that will stream exclusively on Disney Plus. They created shows like Covert Affairs on USA, as well as producing The Enemy Within and The Brave, other series they had. So different production crew, just Charlie Cox. It's probably not going to bring back anything from the Netflix series. It's probably a fresh reboot.
it won't necessarily bring it back. But I hope they keep the character the same.
I mean,
You know what I mean? Like
Well, he was in Spider-Man. I mean,
as a lawyer.
oh, Vincent D'Onofrio was in Hawkeye. I forgot
Yeah.
about that.
Yeah,
So that character's coming back for sure, and that's the best villain in MCU history.
by far.
Yeah, I'm excited.
I'm beyond excited.
I got to finish Hawkeye.
Yeah.
Cripes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, you have to. You have to.
Well,
it is.
It's good.
So
It's a great Christmas.
It doesn't matter. Like, you have to keep watching these things in order for the movies to continue.
Well, we started watching it, and then Chris was like, "I don't get that. I don't get it." And I'm like, all right, we gotta go back up. So we went back and watched the entire MCU universe and got her up to speed so she could watch Hawkeye, which we haven't done yet.
But you have to watch. You have to watch the TV shows in order for the movies to make sense now.
She's
That's the way they.
And we're going to do a review of one of the TV shows pretty soon. I got a piece of news.
Right. Go ahead.
Has anybody been... Where are we out of time, by the way?
Plenty. Hour and 5 minutes.
Has anybody been following the Johnny Depp Amber Heard trial?
Oh my gosh! Yes.
I stopped.
Has
This-
anybody not been following
no,
the trial?
I have not stopped. This is the greatest piece.
I did finally stop too because it just got to be
Yeah, I was
way
like,
too
wow.
much.
I
but
love it. I watch
I
it all
saw-
the time.
When I
I
saw
wanna
the picture
see-
of her in Dr. Evil, I couldn't hold. I started laughing in my office. My boss walked down the hallway.
It's just crazy because,
God.
It's insane.
well, first of all,
This is real life.
everybody's backing Johnny Depp, and by all accounts, he seems like a good guy. But he is a strange duck, man.
Oh yeah.
That's an odd bird, that guy.
He's an odd bird. I don't think anybody has ever questioned that. Because-
Becca said, speaking my language now.
Has anybody questioned the fact that
He's also a
Johnny
raging
Depp
drug
is-
addict.
Oh yeah.
so is she?
So is she.
They literally bring up how much drugs they do.
Yeah, she took a grump on his bed.
This is by far the most insane thing I ever heard.
Anyway, he's insane, whatever, but it's fun to watch him, and he's hilarious on the trial. She is a sociopath.
Oh man.
It's
There's a lot of problems with her.
crazy. Her acting on that stand.
I'm
Yes.
betting she's not going to be making an appearance in Aquaman 2.
She's not. She got
No,
canceled.
she got
They
canceled.
canceled her contract.
Yeah,
think?
Yeah.
no, that's
That happened a couple days ago.
Yep.
So I listened to Joe Rogan earlier today. I was listening to his podcast, and they played the whole audio clip when she was claiming that she donated all the money from their divorce settlement, $7 million to charity.
But
And
she
she's on
hasn't.
the stand being cross-examined or being questioned by
Yeah.
Johnny Depp's lawyer, and she's like, "But you didn't." And she's just like, "Yes, I did. I donated the money." And she's like, "But you didn't donate the money."
You've accepted the money, but have you donated it?
She's like, "I did donate it." And they're like, "No,
No.
you didn't. I've
No.
pledged to donate
Pledged.
it."
That was the wording. She's like, yes, I have pledged to donate this amount of money. And they're like, pledged and donate are two different things.
This
and
went on for like 25
and
minutes.
she literally said, like, well, I think pledged is what you're saying donate is.
And she's like, "I will do it, but I got sued." And they're like, "But you got the settlement like 2 years before you got sued,
And you
or
haven't
4 years before."
give any money up.
Man, she totally totally committed perjury.
I can't.
Oh, multiple times.
I
She
can't.
really has.
She's crazy, but also they're both crazy.
Oh shit.
It's ridiculous.
He is crazy, right?
Very much so.
Oh.
But he also hasn't lied.
I mean, he made a cannon. He had a cannon built to shoot Hunter S. Thompson's ashes out of it.
Which
Is that-
was amazing.
Yeah.
Listen, when he
And then
was
filmed it.
I know.
he's done some things while filming to be literally considered insane.
Yeah, he's eccentric.
That's the word. Eccentric.
Yeah.
Even in his daily life, he is eccentric. And I don't think anybody would argue that. And I don't think he's arguing that. He just came on stand and like said, like, yeah, I did all that stuff. Okay. Like, what else?
Sue me.
What else do you have on me? Yeah, I'm weird. I did a lot of these things. Never shit on a bed. Never shit on my own bed or
Do you-
anybody else's.
Do you, though, believe any facet of when she says that he probably hit her at some point? I mean, we know that she hit him. That's not debatable. She admitted it. But do you believe that he also probably hit her? And is it considered domestic abuse if both parties are hitting each other constantly?
It is. I mean, it is considered domestic abuse regardless.
So does that make it any better when she writes a story calling him a domestic abuser? Does it really make it any better that she's also hitting him?
Well,
The problem is you have to prove it. I don't know. I don't know.
I don't think he put
Hang on.
hands on her. Everything that he stuck to his story. That's the thing. His story hasn't changed.
No.
I just don't really see why. This is a
From-
defamation lawsuit, right? He lost income because of the
Yeah.
article she wrote, badmouthing.
1,000%.
Well, he got
No doubt about that. But the point is, what is her abuse of him? How is that even relevant to the case? Why is it even relevant to the case?
Because he also had a defamation case against her saying, like, I'm not the guy that's doing this. She's doing it to me.
But I don't
Which
see
has
how
also
that's
cost
relevant
me-
to the case of him having a defamation case against her for claiming that he abused her and it wrecked his career.
Her case was first.
No, her
No.
case is in response to his.
Yes.
He's being countersued.
Oh, okay.
That's not case isn't even being heard right now. This is a defamation case that he's bringing against her, saying her article that she wrote about him lost him jobs, which it did.
Yeah, absolutely did.
Lost Jack Sparrow.
Lost Pirates of the Caribbean, lost
Yeah.
Fantastic Beasts. He lost the two biggest movie franchises in movie franchises.
Yes.
I mean,
So what's the argument there?
well, I just don't see
Like, where
why-
does where are you equaling this out at?
But all they're talking about is the whole first part of the trial was establishing that she was in fact abusing him. But how is
think
that relevant to a defamation case against her for an article she wrote?
No, it's
He-
proving that
yeah,
he was being.
abused.
But that
Abused.
doesn't prove that he wasn't also abusing her.
That's not what we're talking about, though.
I just don't see how it's relevant, how her abuse of him is relevant in the defamation case against her for claiming that he was an abuser.
How could it not be?
Yeah.
How is it? Because he can be abused and an abuser at the same time.
But that's not the case you're looking at.
Mm,
The
no,
case
he-
you're looking at is being
I
abused.
see where you're going. I agree with you there, Chris.
But there's no evidence of him abusing her at all.
So I think that's what they're trying to establish. He's 100% correct that there's nothing saying, there's no written documents anywhere that he hit her. But there's
Correct.
multiple things of her abusing him.
But I don't see how that's
So,
relevant to
well,
the case.
he's trying to say it's all
How is it
self-defense.
not?
Anything he did was in self-defense.
Okay, that I could understand. But he's already lost a case against her in England, right? In the UK.
No, it happened everything happened in Australia, I thought.
No,
Australia, yeah.
I thought it was in the UK.
It was
Australia.
Australia,
Whatever. He lost that case. The first one.
which they now found that she was lying in.
Yeah, which is weird. Now what do they do about that? And then she's got this whole case against him that hasn't even been started. It's too much.
It's a lot.
It's a lot.
That's kind of why I quit watching. I was like, oh
I
my
will
God.
not quit watching it. It is the best TV I've watched in a long time. It's the best TikToks.
The TikToks are great.
Yeah.
And the
Oh my
TikToks
God.
work
Yeah.
because they condense everything down into like a
Yeah.
minute, you know?
Yeah.
No, the biggest thing is about her. I don't care. I literally don't care who is found guilty, who was found innocent. I don't care. It makes no sense in my life to ever care about any of
Of
that.
course, yes.
Oh, yeah.
But what I do care about is their lawyers.
Well,
so her lawyers,
is ridiculous.
her team and his team are two substantially different people.
Her lawyer is like the female version of Mr. Magoo.
It is no joke.
She's like fumbling, dropping.
She stood on the stand and did this. Give me a minute. What? Like, you're in the middle of a court case. You're a trial. Like you're in the middle of a trial. There's
she
a
goes-
jury there.
She goes, I'm trying here.
Yeah, and she literally did this. I'm trying. Just give me a minute.
Well, how do you know? How do you know
What?
that the feces on the bed
doing?
wasn't from the dog? Oh, because they're teacup Yorkies.
Yes.
You can fit their shit in the palm of your hand.
It's amazing. It's absolutely amazing. I could fit a teacup turkey shit in my hand.
Did he
Hers-
become Hunter S. Thompson after that movie?
Gar-
Because he sounds exactly
It's
like
him.
Well,
No,
he lived
that's
with them for, what was it, a year?
a year and a half.
But
Yeah.
he must have he took his persona.
That is.
Well, I mean, Hunter
him
S.
now.
Thompson liked drugs too. I mean,
Well, I know,
he's very
but
open
he
about it.
sounds like him. If you listen to
He's never
Hunter S.
changed.
Thompson on the late night shows.
Oh, they have a ton of behind the scenes.
You know what? After he did Fear and Loathing, there was a huge change in Donnie Depp.
I think
you're
so.
right.
I
Listen,
think so.
That's a great movie.
My dog stepped on a bee.
I don't even know what that is.
You don't? You've never seen that?
No.
She was in her being questioned, and she said, I don't know the story. You'd have to go back and look at the story she was telling, but she said she's literally telling this big elaborate story, and she said she's like standing there. She's like, my dog, she stepped on a bee. And that's what she does. She makes this grimacing face and turns off to the side like it's this big ordeal.
What is
like
crazy
a big ordeal.
is what kind of court allows both of them to just go on these elaborate tangent stories. I've never seen anything like this in a courtroom. Usually you answer the question very abruptly.
And we grew up with OJ.
Yeah. Usually
And we're great friends with
Kato.
Kato.
And
I tried to arm wrestle the man.
Avocado. No, but
No
seriously,
joke.
every court case I've ever seen, I've been involved in a few. They're always very abrupt. They don't let you wander. The judge shuts it down.
put Judge Judy on this thing.
No.
I would love to see
You know
that.
why? It's because it is a televised case that everybody is involved with, and they want people to be involved.
And it's civil court, right? It's not criminal court.
right.
Yeah.
That's
It
the
is.
So it
difference, I
doesn't
think.
matter.
I don't know, but it is insane. And the only thing that I
my
think
dog.
is interesting
Stepped on a bee.
is how, first of all, two things. How unbelievably fake she is.
Yes.
And how bad of an actor she is. But number two is,
You know what gets me really upset is that the only time she talks is speaking to the jury.
yeah.
She's like this. It's like that is a big difference. Like Johnny Depp is talking to the lawyer. The lawyer's talking to him.
She's
and
just
he'll
freaking
give a response
Crazy.
to the lawyer who is asking him a question. She will look at the lawyer and accept the question and then look
But
to the jury and say, no, I didn't say that. I don't know what you're talking about. And then
Mr.
come back.
Field is asking you what's in the Yeti. You can show him the.
I don't know.
I'm not drinking tonight.
Oh, okay.
I don't think she's doing drugs in court because I don't know how you would. Becca Bean asks, is she doing drugs in court? I don't know.
No way.
Maybe.
I don't know.
There's
All
no
I
way
know
to
is
tell.
I don't know how they can go on these elaborate stories. And her stories
I do believe she's on drugs.
are crazy.
I
I
think
heard
she's
on
on a
Joe
significant
Rogan
amount
the
of
other
drugs.
day that they had. I thought this was interesting. Not really relevant, but interesting. They had they can scientifically analyze faces, right? And
I can do that. It's my eyes. You don't have scientifically analyzed eyes?
they can.
Do you see these?
He's a
Look at-
human lie detector.
Look at these glasses. I can see tomorrow. I know how to judge people.
Anyway,
You
Go
do
ahead.
know how-
Let me see. I'll tell you right
So-
now. No, hang on. Dude, hold it together. I'll tell if you're telling the truth.
okay,
Right now.
that's not anything about what I'm talking about.
Oh, all right.
Okay, they can analyze faces to determine attractiveness.
Beep, beep,
It has
boop,
a lot to do with symmetry and different facial features.
Beep, boop, boop, beep, boop. Go ahead.
Okay.
Continue.
And according to these scientific analysis prior to this, she was considered the most attractive person alive. Like her face.
Hang on. Beep, boop, burp, burp,
Play the
beep,
crickets
burp, burp.
again.
I don't think that's true.
Just telling you what I heard on Joe Rogan.
Wait, who told you that?
I heard it
Joe.
on Joe Rogan's podcast. I thought it was interesting.
It's got to be true.
You don't think she is?
No.
Did you see her
Have you seen
before?
her sister?
No.
They're almost identical.
Really?
Yeah.
She doesn't look as good in this trial, but if you look at her like an Aquaman,
She's
she's a
pretty good.
good-looking lady.
And you think
Wouldn't kick her out of bed for eating crackers in it.
so? You're just gonna judge a woman on her looks?
Yeah. Becca said she's put pills in her mouth, looked like she snorted coke. She did. I saw that one. She did
Yeah,
look
I
like
saw
she
that one,
snorted
yeah.
coke, and hid a bottle from an officer in her pocket.
She did do that too.
And I
She
seen
pulled-
the pills thing too.
But she pulled a bottle out and she had
doesn't
it sitting
a
in
little-
front of her.
Love a little bump of cocaine.
I
out
mean,
there.
just
come
gotta
on.
get a bump.
You gotta get a bone here and there.
It's a high stress situation.
But she pulled the bottle out.
Gotta be on top of your game.
She had a bottle in front of her, and the officer came walking in front of her, and she immediately like stuffed it in her pocket. Like, ooh.
If she's doing drugs in court,
Whoopsie.
she's got a real problem.
I think she has a real problem.
Yeah.
All right, we need to move on.
We are far past that.
We're past how much time I want to spend in my life on the Johnny Depp Amber Heard trial.
I'm not. I would talk about this all day long.
I probably.
That and peanut butter.
Okay, you want to get to what we're watching?
You want to fight about peanut butter, dude?
You want to fight me?
You want to fight me about peanut butter?
Jif sucks.
Moon Knight.
That is a show that
We're
came
gonna
out
review
recently.
it right now. Dude hasn't seen it. He's gonna get it spoiled for him. There,
That's all right.
there will be spoilers. We're not gonna talk in like huge
Cripes.
specifics. I just want to get like the general.
Cripes, dude.
What?
Cripes.
Watch the first
Like,
2
holy
episodes.
smokes.
I want to get your general. I just want to get our general review, our take on it.
Okay. Do you want me to start?
Yeah.
Very slow.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, I don't. I guess we have not discussed this.
First 2 episodes
Really?
were really slow.
All
Oh,
right.
the whole season is slow.
Okay.
I do not like the fact that you don't see a lot of Moon Knight.
You see almost no Moon Knight.
Yeah.
Very
Moon Knight
little.
does not come about until last like 2 episodes.
Well, there's a
Last
couple.
episode.
There's a couple in like the second episode, I think, or the first
But
end of the first
Very
one.
small snippets of Moon Knight coming out at the end of each episode.
Okay.
I get that. But you don't get like Moon Knight.
No,
You get
not
the,
very often.
you get the battle between Mark and Steven, and that's what you get. That's what the show is about.
Yeah.
Like a mental battle on who is who and who is in charge and where each other came from. I get that. That's fine. I just don't like the way they portrayed it where it's a constant battle on who is the forefront of the show. I think they should
Well,
have
I mean,
had
definitely that isn't the very first half of the show. I mean, that kind of resolves towards the end, but in the last 2 episodes.
the last 2 episodes. So there's only 6 episodes.
Yeah.
The majority of the show, every hour of what you watch, is a constant battle between 2 people that did not need to happen. They could have resolved this within 2 episodes and then had them work together
Okay.
the rest of the season.
So they can resolve a lifetime of mental illness and dissociative identity disorder and just wrap that up in a couple episodes? Is that you're maintaining that?
What I'm saying is
That would
like,
have made sense?
you could have done it a lot better than what they did. It's boring to watch. It's boring to watch that.
I'm frankly a little shocked because I'll tell you right now,
No, I think it's so boring.
this is my favorite Marvel TV show.
What? Isn't that the whole point of Moon Knight? Is that
No, I don't agree.
Yeah, that is the whole point of it.
He has
for the
split
most part.
personalities, and one's a
Absolutely.
superhero and one's not. That's the whole principle behind it.
Yes, 100%. I've read a lot of Moon Knight. I've read them. They don't portray it the same way.
I'm
It's
going to tell you what. I thought, for me, it was probably, maybe there's an argument there for Falcon and Winter Soldier being up there. That was really good. Different, for sure, but super interesting. I gravitated towards this, especially towards the second half, the last 3 episodes.
Oh yeah.
And I thought probably it was one of the most interesting. It was probably my favorite, or in the conversation for the top 2 of the Marvel TV shows. I'll tell you a few reasons why.
I won't disagree with that. I'm not saying it's not in the top of Marvel. Like,
How can you say you didn't like it and
Yeah.
it'd be in the top?
I didn't say I didn't like it. I said it. Certain episode, like the majority of the first 4 episodes, really were relatively boring.
Thank you, Matt. I am nimble in this rolling chair. I got rollerblade wheels on my chair.
I also thought
You do?
Vision.
Yes.
I also
Holy
thought
shit.
WandaVision was boring
Oh,
all the
went
way
back-
up through the end.
We went back.
But it doesn't mean
me
it's
and Chris
bad.
went back and watched all of Marvel. It's watch WandaVision. Oh, you're gonna watch. You're gonna love WandaVision. The first 2 episodes. Oh my god.
The first
They're
2
brutal.
episodes are brutal.
Brutal.
Well,
But I don't think that
when it came
show
out, it
was
was like,
bad at all.
This is watching it. I remember when it came out, I was like, this is different. This is cool.
Yeah, we
Where
were
they're
making a
going.
lot of excuses for it, though, I think, at the time.
You are correct. Now it's like, this is just slow. But
It was a slow show. And I did love, I loved
is-
Loki a lot. Falcon and the Winter Soldier, I think, is probably the pinnacle. That was a really good show.
Listen,
Yeah.
let me get my point across. I don't think any of those shows are different from Moon Knight because I think the first 4 episodes are all the same across all of them. They're relatively slow in building the story up to where you want it to go. So you're sitting there waiting for those characters that you know the potential, you know what's going, like relatively what's going to happen with their characters beyond that. If you have any idea of the characters that like we do, like you know what's going to happen. So waiting for that build up is a little, I don't know, like it made me angry because it wasn't as fast as what it should be. Every show did that. Moon Knight has done that. WandaVision did
I definitely
that.
did not feel that with Moon Knight at all.
I did. It felt too slow because all they did was constantly go back between Mark and Steven between every show. I already knew they had a struggle. We need to advance that struggle
But
a little bit.
you've read the comics. Not everybody has. Moon Knight's he's not Thor. He's
not
not
a popular
Iron Man.
comic.
I know.
They're
and even
setting up a
so-
character base where it's like,
So even
First
so,
of all-
the people that have never read the comics, I feel like you should advance that
I tell you
a
what.
little bit quicker.
I will spend 20 episodes watching Oscar Isaac
oh yeah,
in anything.
I agree.
He's so phenomenal in this show
Yes.
that
yes,
I will
yes,
watch
yes,
it.
yes.
Ethan Hawke was great. The Layla,
Layla.
she was great. Towards the end of the show, there's a turn to a very Indiana Jones vibe
Yes.
that I think is
It
spectacular.
was all Indiana Jones.
Yes,
I think it was
very much so.
huge Indiana Jones.
And I
which
like that.
Loved.
And that's something we haven't seen before in the Marvel universe, in my opinion. I like the Egyptian mythology of it. And then I loved the last couple episodes when they go into the nether, realms.
Yes.
And the boat.
Oh, the boat was incredible.
And the whole
And
scene
where-
in the insane asylum. I mean, all of that to me was, I just absolutely, I liked it a lot.
Okay. So, I'm not saying I don't love this show. I 1000% do. I didn't think the first 4 episodes held up to what I wanted it to be. Once they got on the boat and you lose, is it Mark?
Steven.
Steven goes overside the boat. Spoilers. This is a spoiler-ridden
He
Review.
yeah, I guess, but
kind of. I mean, that's a big deal.
okay.
Like, as soon as Steven goes over the boat, like, things change from there on out. And when that happened,
Well, I liked everything previous to that when they're
Well, I
going
know.
back and exploring the history and their childhood.
leading up to that, though, like, you learn all of that stuff. Then Steven falls over the boat, and you're like, holy shit, the connection that they have, even though it's the same person. It blew me away. Like, that connection right there where he was so, like, depressed and, like, anxious to, like, get that guy back. Like, we got to get that. Like, he's screaming over the boat, like, Mark. Or Steven. I can't remember.
Steven.
Is it Steven?
but that's the whole. They
feel
set
like
up the
it's-
first 4 shows for you to feel that way.
Yeah.
That's the whole point.
And that's
I
what
get
Nolan
it,
says
but it
here. As
felt
somebody who
so slow.
as someone who didn't know anything about Moon
Felt
Knight,
so slow.
I enjoyed the slow build, the mystery, the Egyptian tone, and the influence. And I agree. In fact, if I had
Maybe it's because I just wanted the end result.
if I had
Moon Knight.
any issues with
think
the
that's what it
show,
was.
in my opinion, it was twofold. It was one, there wasn't a lot of Moon Knight, and in my opinion, what we did get of Moon Knight looked very cartoony,
Very subpar.
And
I do
subpar.
not like. I do not like.
and the tone just felt off. The tone felt off compared to the comics, where it's more Batman vibe.
The CGI is
It's not great.
great.
And
So I
then
love him in the I love the Moon Knight from the early 2000s
yeah,
Spider-Man cartoon where he's just batshit crazy, literally. And
absolutely love
Right.
Yeah.
Yes. Yes, I love that as well. It's not
Nolan
this.
said, I also like that Mark was the action guy and Steven was the Egyptologist. I think they lean in the first half a little too heavy into the Steven as a nerd thing. In the end, they give you more Steven as being capable, and that makes more sense.
There was no capability of Steven throughout the whole first 4 to 5 episodes.
So
It took so long for him to be capable of doing anything until they got to the boat.
the only second complaint I'd have is, and actually Nolan brought this up, he said the whole Venom, Khonshu, disembodied voice actor thing, it's just a little much.
Yeah.
And I don't know what they could have done different, but
It's narrated in the comic books.
there also is a problem, too, with the stakes of the show. So you never really feel like there's any genuine threat.
Right.
And then in the end, the genuine threat isn't resolved by Moon Knight. So that's odd and kind of detracts from it. It's very much like there's two different stories going on. One is just a struggle in...
Moon Knight's not the main character in this.
I don't agree with that. I think there's two stories going on here. One is the inner battle of Mark, and the other one is everything else that's going on.
Right. But tell me where Moon Knight the character, is the main character of all of it.
Well, Mark and Steven are the main character.
that's the
Moon
whole
Knight.
point behind the Moon Knight comic is that it's not about Moon Knight. It's about
I know. I get that. I'm just saying, like, in this struggle, it is about Moon Knight overall.
Now,
Like,
Moon Knight is like a tool. He's like a weapon.
right.
That's it.
And he's used very sporadically.
Yes.
It's not used in the way that I thought it would be used.
Correct. I would agree with that. I think they went a little bit big. So they picked a Moon Knight storyline that basically supercharged him as a invulnerable superhero. That is a storyline in the comics.
It is.
But it isn't the storyline in the comics. It's one storyline in
There's
the comics.
a huge, bigger scale of Moon Knight. Like,
The vast majority
outside
of
of what they're
Moon
doing.
Knight he's more of a Batman type character. He's not invulnerable. He's just a guy.
and I understand they set this up for you to understand, like, the backstory of what Moon Knight is.
Well, they don't really give you a lot of backstory.
I just don't.
they give you any.
The
backstory.
problem is like, that's what I was gonna say. Is like, I don't feel like they gave you the backstory of who Moon Knight is, who Mark and Steve are. Like, I don't know if you really gain anything from this show moving forward other than the struggle between a guy's mind, which, again, I know that's the comic book. I've read it a lot. It doesn't blend well in this show. I
Well,
don't feel like it
so-
blends well in the show.
I
So is this
disagree.
more of like a build up, like Loki? Loki, there's really not. You get some more character development in Loki.
Not
and,
comparable to Loki.
Well, hold on here.
Loki is a puzzle piece to a larger story.
So
This feels completely separate.
see, I
It
need
feels
to finish
completely
watching
separate, but it's the same.
because that's
It really is.
Is it a character build up? Because they're building Loki up to be.
I
part
don't
of the
know,
next
and
phase.
I'll tell you why I'm not sure. Because the Moon Knight that will continue isn't the Moon Knight from this show. So the Moon Knight from this show is very specific to a Khonshu storyline in the comic books that
but
gives him a superpowered suit.
I don't
Alright.
think it will lend itself well going forward because you're so honed in on what Mark and Steve think of each other. And I think that's right. You
Well,
need
they've
to,
resolved that completely by the end.
by the end to a point, but
So is this going to play
don't
into
know.
the whole Black Knight Blade group of guys that are coming in?
Doubtful.
I'm
I gotta
not.
watch it.
They do leave a cliffhanger at the end, and I'm not going to give that away. I don't know if they'll go to a season 2 or go straight to a movie. They have Oscar Isaac.
They have to
My-
go to season
my-
2.
He's so good.
My idea is that with a star of that power,
Mm-hmm.
you don't get him to sign on without a movie.
I don't know.
He's,
Got him to
he's
sign on
been saying
for.
he's wanting to join the MCU for a long
Well,
time.
He's in it now. He's in it.
6 episodes to build to a movie. to introduce a character that they could never just have a Moon Knight movie. Not enough people know who it is.
I don't think you can have a Moon Knight movie off of this.
Disagree.
I don't think you can. Nope.
It
I
all
don't
depends
agree.
what storyline you're going to go to and how is Thor going to play into it, and
To be honest,
all the new movies.
I find this the most fun interaction over a TV show that I've ever had because I don't agree with.
Well, I'll say that might be the reason they picked the Khonshu storyline to focus on, because it is a super-powered suit, and he can, with that suit, hold his own with the Avengers. Whereas he cannot in the traditional sense.
No.
You know, Batman, they finagle a way to make him in there with his superior intellect, but you're not going to get that with Moon Knight. They don't set up the character as being like Bruce Wayne. In the comics, he's a billionaire.
Yeah.
But in the
right.
show, he is not.
No.
So that's an interesting thing. Now, he might become a billionaire because Steven is a genius.
So, and that's where they tie it into Bruce
But
Wayne.
they don't portray Steven as a genius in this
He's not.
show.
No.
I need to finish watching it because
The only genius that they portray is the scholar of like archaeological stuff, like Mark's portion of it. That's the part that they.
Steven's portion of that.
Is that Steven? I can't.
Steven's the dork.
Gosh, I can't.
And
remember.
Mark's the badass.
I mean, Mark is Moon Knight.
Yeah.
The other
Yes.
ones are multiple personalities.
And that's the only portion that is smart, like the only portion that is like intelligent about
in the
anything they're doing.
comics, Steven is the rambunctious, adventurous billionaire.
Correct, the billionaire, but that doesn't happen
And
in
ladies'
the show.
man and stuff. No, it's not.
That's what I'm
it's not
saying. Like
that
the
in show.
only portion of the TV show that you're getting, like that is intelligent in anything, is the guy that knows about all of the history.
Yeah,
and
I mean, Mark's a
artifacts.
warrior.
That's it.
Has anybody seen Doctor Strange yet?
Not yet.
Nope.
Nope.
I want to see it this weekend.
Did you?
No, I want to see it. I'm wondering how this is going to tie into the multiverse.
It has
I've
to.
heard mixed reviews.
So have I.
I've heard great reviews, and I've heard reviews of it was really good. It just wasn't. They didn't go to where they could have went. They didn't go as far as they could have or should have went.
Because I want to see it in 3D.
I think you have to.
Well, because we saw the original Doctor Strange in 3D. Remember that, Chris? And it was just.
It's amazing.
I was
Insane.
there.
I'm willing to go see that this weekend if
I
possible.
was.
No, you weren't.
All right, moving on. What you been watching? What else? I got a ton of other stuff. Does anybody else? You got one that you want to throw in?
Barry.
Barry. Yes, me too. That's next on my list.
Okay.
Barry season 3 is out. Obviously, there's been 4 episodes.
Yeah.
I
think they're going to have 6 or 8.
I would hope there's at least 8
8.
because
Yeah.
they haven't covered much ground in 4.
No, nothing.
I'm not feeling the Barry love this season that I have in past seasons.
Yeah.
There are things that stand out as always. Hank, Henry Winkler's character.
Don't jump to the shark.
Definitely not making Bill Hader's character very sympathetic in this season.
No.
So I'm interested to continue watching, but it is it's not jumping up in
I know, and
joy
I think
as in past seasons.
I agree, and I think they're doing it on purpose.
I think so too.
So I think there's going to be like a.
Oh, there's for sure going to be big twists and turns and shocks. There
Yes.
is just that's what they do in that
They
show.
have to.
And it's
They
very
cannot.
funny. I mean, the Armenian or is it Chechenians?
Chechenians. Yeah.
And the Venezuelan
I've
Colombians.
never
Colombia.
watched Barry, and I really need to.
Oh yeah,
man,
you should watch
I
it.
know. Just don't have time.
It's they're just 30-minute episodes, right?
So, yeah, 30 minutes. I like it.
I like
I
it
know-
too.
I
but
know
I'm
it's
just saying
slow.
this season I think has been a letdown
Compared to the other two?
comparatively to other seasons.
Completely agree.
Still has a great production value, great comedy.
It always makes me want to come back though.
Absolutely.
Like, I don't
yes.
know.
I don't want to miss it.
I have
I
no-
watch it Sunday night every night.
So do I. I don't know what's coming next. Even though like
No
an
idea
episode,
right now.
An episode will leave you like, fuck, man. Like what?
Well, that's the
What's
thing they did
happening?
in the second season, which was a really good one. Literally, they left you at the end of every episode being like, "What the hell is going to happen?"
Right, but this episode, it's like, why are they doing this?
Right.
Like, why did that happen?
It's like they're kind of like sidestepping Barry as like this side character, and then everything else just feels like the stakes aren't really high.
But to be honest, I think that's on purpose because the last 2 episodes, like Barry is the forefront of everything, right?
Yeah.
And now they're trying to put Barry off to the side and say the Chechens are like the forefront of everything.
Which they're very entertaining.
It's very entertaining, but I think it's going to circle back around.
What I just I'm done with is the whole thing with Fuchs.
Right.
I just
done.
Stephen Root, God bless him.
Great actor.
I'm done with that.
Thank you for what you've done.
Let's let it go.
Let's get rid of you. Like, put you in the trunk, close the trunk, don't open it again. Because you were in a trunk already. I don't know why we opened it.
All right, moving on. Anything else to say on that?
Watch it. I still think you should watch Barry.
Dude, you got any? I got a ton, so if you don't, that's fine.
Go ahead.
All right, I have a bunch that I've just a little bit watched. I do want to pick out two that I've watched to finish, and one of them is going to be a complete change of pace. All right, it's on Netflix, and it's called Love on the Spectrum,
I have not watched
U.S. edition. It's a docu-series about various people with autism and various levels of autism that want to find love and get out into the dating world.
Oh, wow.
Wow. Yeah.
And it's not a reality show. No, this is like a docu-series following these people's lives.
That sounds very interesting.
And, varying degrees. Some of them are relatively minor on the spectrum, and some of them are very majorly.
So it goes like the whole spectrum.
Yeah, it follows basically these 5 different characters. And every episode, it checks in with each one and this journey as they try to find love. I'm going to tell you what, I just kind of watched it on a whim. Like, I need something to fall asleep to, but I don't want to be too serious to watch, so I'll just turn this on.
And you were like, bing.
I don't know. Maybe I'm crazy. Maybe other people think this is... I just got a lot out of this show. Like, a lot of... Like, emotionally, a lot out of this show. And I think that one of the things that it brought to me, my attention, is just like... It's like you watch some of these people and you feel, like, so sad. But then you also watch them and feel, like, so joyous.
In their triumph.
In their...
Like,
triumph
in
or
what
not triumph. I mean, but you also feel like sad that they have to go through this, and then there's times when it's very awkward. But it's just, I think it brought to the forefront, like, of my consciousness, like, that this exists, like, that there's people that are struggling, like, really struggling out there that, like, can't, And it's not like I didn't know that autism and these things existed. Of course I did. It's not that I don't know. Certain people.
But you don't live it.
I don't live it, but I mean, I know people that have been affected by it. But I don't know. I think this show really did I think it's important to, like, kind of look at and watch and maybe to, like, think about and be like, man, it made me, I'm sitting there watching the show is like, what can I do, like, as a community member to, like, help,
Right.
and change what I need to be doing or raise money for this or that. And I'm like,
Incredible. I mean, I think that's incredible.
but there's varying degrees too. Like, and then some of these people are, you feel so bad for them and you're really rooting for them. They seem like wonderful people and they just can't connect with people, on whatever level they need to do. And then some of them are so kind of severely handicapped that they do make connections with other people that are also handicapped, and you're like, feel very, like, joyous in that triumph, but also at the same time, like, concerned with, like, how that's going to work.
Right.
And I just thought it was interesting. There's a couple that stood out to me. There's this one guy, I can't remember his name now, but he has Asperger's.
I don't think that's a thing anymore.
Yeah, it's on the spectrum.
It is. Yeah.
So he's obviously it would be on the high functioning level.
Yeah.
But he, in past decades, when we were kids, those people, they didn't know what that was. Those people were just ridiculed. You know what I mean? They were just
Crazy.
lived miserable lives, and people treated them like garbage.
Yeah.
And everybody listening to this podcast, and myself included, and everybody has probably treated people shitty that were weird or different when you were a kid.
Because of that.
And that's what that's what was going on. And we know that now.
Yeah.
And we have to change
And so, Chris, you talked about, trying to reach out to your community and do different things. You know what you do? You just, you be a good person, treat people right, and you teach your children empathy. That not everybody has it as good as you. Not everybody is the same as you. You need to have a lot of empathy for other people, just because they're different.
Yeah.
No matter what that difference is. That's what you...
and not bad different.
No.
You know what I mean?
No.
It's not bad different. Like, you feel bad for them because they're struggling to make these connections and trying to fit into this world that doesn't want them to fit into it.
Mm-hmm.
But, like, if you look at them interacting with their family and their family around them, like, they're wonderful.
Yeah.
Everybody, there's so much love, but it's really hard for them to make an outside romantic connection. You know what I mean? So it's just interesting. It's very interesting. It's worth the watch. It's one of those that I'm like, I kind of want my kids to watch this so they can, like, it's kind of changes. It tweaks a little bit of what
was it called?
It's called Love on the Spectrum. I think this is the second season. The first one I think was in the UK, and I tried to watch it. It was difficult because it was very British.
Cultural, yeah.
This one's a U.S.
Cultural differences.
Yeah, a U.S. version. There's a couple. Anyway, this guy with Asperger's who's kind of what would consider to be very nerdy and eccentric probably 20 years ago. But very high functioning. He brings a date to the Renaissance Fair, the Bristol Renaissance Fair.
Oh, really?
They do all this stuff.
We
The
need
one
to
in
go
New
there.
York. And then there's this one guy in San Francisco. He's like a 65-year-old man. He's like got diagnosed with autism like 8 years ago. After just being his whole life, just like
Being crazy.
Lost.
just being like a weirdo that nobody that was
Lost.
just lost. Yeah. And at 65 years old, and he's very high functioning, but very odd and very like wonderfully nice. And I don't know. It's very fun following him around. There's this woman who's an animator that is also, I would consider, probably very high functioning, but very abrupt and matter of fact, and obviously misses a lot of social cues and stuff.
Right.
And so she's interesting because she has like such a high opinion of herself that she's just very abrupt with people, and you could tell that there's something like she's not quite getting the whole picture. And then there's this one girl who barely, probably, you can just barely tell. And then there's a couple on there that are pretty extreme cases, of people that can't live on their own, basically.
Can you tell like it's based off of like social cues?
They're all different. They're all different. It's worth watching because you get to see too the differences in the spectrum.
Yeah.
And what that means. And I thought it was really cool and worth watching.
Sounds awesome.
Yeah. So that was the number 2 I've been watching. I'll do another one before, or you got another one?
No, go ahead.
We started watching The Winning Time on HBO.
David Seatentop, who listens to the podcast, is a huge fan of that show.
Oh, it's great.
I have,
And it's
been
also
watching
it's probably going to win a lot of awards. It's getting a lot of accolades.
Just awesome. I mean, I don't necessarily think a lot of it's true. I mean, I think they made a lot of it up with Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, but
I don't know.
I don't know.
That's I'm not hearing that. I'm hearing it's pretty accurate.
really.
Yeah. That's what I've heard too, is like it's pretty accurate on what
Because I've
happened
heard
during
they
that time,
talked
but
about it on
nobody knows.
Batman and Batman, or Fat Man Beyond. They
Yeah.
talked about it. And then also on Joe Rogan, I think they're talking about it.
Yep.
It's a pretty talked about show. I haven't got there yet. I watched the first episode.
Oh man.
Yeah.
You gotta get
Yeah, you
into
gotta
it.
go, man. It gets really good.
I will definitely watch it. I promised David I would watch it. I will.
It's very good. I was taken aback by the way they film the episodes, on how it's like breaking the fourth wall, where they're talking to the camera, and they like literally come to you in the middle. They'll have a huge conversation about what's going on with the basketball team, and then all of a sudden, they'll just stop and look at you and be like, "See, this is what I'm talking about."
But to me,
I love it.
That's what makes it so great.
I know.
is
That's
there's-
what I'm saying. Like
I don't feel like I didn't
changes the
care
dynamic of the show.
super a lot. I the first episode, for whatever reason, didn't grab me. That's why I didn't continue just deep dive.
No, it changes.
But I'll get there, I
It
suppose.
changes a lot.
Oh man, I loved it. Every bit of it.
Yeah.
What else have I been watching?
Well, it's gonna win some awards, and I can tell you that.
It should.
yeah.
Well, I'll tell you one that I've been watching or listening to in the tractor, and this is a Spotify podcast, #1 podcast in the world right now. It is a teleplay or a radio play, and it's called Batman Unburied.
And you just told me about this the other day, and I didn't know.
There's 6 episodes out. There's 15 total coming out.
How did I not
It
know
is a
about this?
week-to-week serial podcast radio play, and it is Batman themed.
Yeah.
You don't need, I told somebody this the other day, you don't really need to know anything about Batman to enjoy this because it's themed on what's popular right now in podcasts, which is crime and serial killers.
Yeah, absolutely.
And it is a serial killer plaguing Gotham.
Mm-hmm.
Batman's nowhere to be found. So there's 2 storylines. One is what's going on in the world that Batman is existing in his mind. That's kind of a spoiler, but not really. And the other one is like what's happening in the real world, trying to figure out where Batman is, and then that kind of converges at a certain point, and then you get the final story.
Oh my gosh.
30-minute podcast episodes, definitely really, really good. Well produced, all voice acted by different
that
actors.
Sounds so awesome because me and you are huge Batman.
I know. And he told me about this the other day, and I was like, no.
I've
Well,
never
heard
about
about
that.
Let me
man.
tell you something right now. The first probably 3 episodes, you're going to be like, what is going on? This ain't Batman.
Okay.
And then you kind of realize where the story's going.
Ooh. Now you really piqued my curiosity, man.
I mean, the main character is Barbara Gordon. She's a detective. At least for the first 6 episodes, which is all I've heard, because that's all it's out.
She in a wheelchair, or is it?
No.
Okay, so it's kind of like an Elsewhere type of a.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, I would consider it to be Elsewhere, but it's a mystery. It's a straight up mystery murder serial killer drama.
Did you guys ever talk about Batman? Because you haven't been on since the Batman's come out, have you?
Yeah, we did.
Yeah, we did.
Did you?
150. Yeah, we
That's
talked
right.
about
I missed it.
Yeah, we were obviously huge fans.
Big fan.
I'm joking.
I'm a big fan.
What?
Nothing.
Oh, yeah, he missed the podcast that he was supposed to be on. Is that what you're talking about?
Yeah.
Yeah, he chose to go out
Boozing.
And not be
boozing
here.
and hanging out and partying
And we asked him here.
instead of his commitments that he made to us. All right, I'll keep going unless anybody wants to jump in on one.
No, go ahead.
I'm gonna quickly nail a couple that I just barely watched. I started watching the Rebel Wilson movie, the new movie on Netflix called Senior Year.
Don't know it.
It's about a high school senior head cheerleader, goes into a coma, wakes up 20 years later,
Okay.
and still thinks she's a senior in high school, and goes back to high school.
Oh.
It's unwatchable. Do not watch it.
Okay.
It is an
Doesn't
you piqued
sound
my
good.
curiosity. Oh, okay, that
No.
sounds interesting. You're like,
unwatchable garbage.
oh, okay.
Horrible.
I will not watch that.
I'm not gonna watch it.
I was not able to finish it. Once she goes back to high school, and every kid there is the wokest human being you've ever met ever even heard of in your entire life. You're just looking like, kids aren't like this. No kids are like this. Ridiculous garbage. Don't watch it. Speaking of garbage, there's a new
It's really taking a turn.
There's a new Adam Conover, who I generally am kind of a fan of. Adam Ruins Everything. Adam
Oh,
Conover.
yeah, I know that guy.
He has a new show produced by former President Barack Obama on Netflix called The G Word. It is a Adam Ruins Everything type show, specifically about government.
Okay.
And every episode is about different factions of the government.
government.
The first one is about food and just straight up trashes farmers for an entire 30 minutes. It's horrendous.
All right, I want to watch that.
No, it'll make you so angry you're going to throw your TV.
No, I'm definitely going to watch it.
I was yelling at the
every
TV
farmer on
at
who's watching
10:30
this
at
is
night
gonna-
while Marley was trying to sleep. I was yelling at the TV. No, wrong.
Wrong.
Then the next episode,
Stop.
the whole thing at the beginning, he sits down with President Obama, and he's like, "You want me to make it?" It's kind of a shtick, and it is kind of funny. Obama's funny in it.
Okay.
And he's like, "You want me to make a show about the government?" And Obama's like, "Yeah, I want to make a show about the government.
About the government.
Great."
You guys sound like
He's just
Kermit
like-
the Frog, not Obama.
That's true. He's like, well, I can't do that. It's just going to be like I'm schlepping for the government, like, and saying how awesome they are.
Right.
I'm not going to do that. I'm going to tell the truth, the good and the bad. And then he proceeds to go give a hand job to the government on every episode.
Okay.
Terrible. Don't watch it.
Sounds terrible.
Complete garbage.
But can we watch the first one just to see how much he's lying or not?
You can watch it, but you'll be angry.
Damn it.
And there
Doesn't
will be
sound
a
good.
time that you think you touched your Amazon remote, but you didn't. If you watch it, you'll know. Okay, real quick. Another one I tried to start, Lincoln Lawyer. New series based on the book series.
I read the book. It was great. I watched the movie. Thought it was relatively good.
Movie was good.
Yeah, movie was
Series,
good. The book was amazing.
What does
I love
Matthew McConaughey do? That's
He's not in the
awesome?
series though.
I love the book.
Books
I
are
really
great.
do. Yeah, I
Never
read all
read
of
one,
them.
but I've heard they're great. The series, it didn't. I couldn't make it jive. It didn't hold my attention.
How so?
I don't know. Maybe I'll try it again, but it was real slow.
Okay.
Another one, The Pentaveret on
With-
Netflix. The new Mike Myers
Yeah.
produced movie with Keegan-Michael Key and about every other character being played by Michael Myers.
Yes. I didn't start it. I saw it.
I watched the
I
first
haven't heard of it yet.
episode. It is silly.
I assumed.
I enjoyed it.
Really?
I don't think a lot of people would. I enjoyed it quite a bit.
How far is it out there, silly?
It's far out there.
So it looks far out there.
Yeah, it's
Like,
far out.
even-
It's far out there. A, it's far out there, and B, it's got the Mike Myers thing of like Austin Powers,
course.
you know, like that kind
Yeah,
of
but
thing.
that's classic, man.
Yeah, and the jokes are there. They're the same jokes as Mike Myers does, so they're good. Keegan-Michael Key is good. It was trying to be something bigger than it ended up being, and then it ended up as a show on Netflix, I think. Is what happened.
You've seen all of it?
No, I watched like the first 2 episodes.
How many episodes
I
are
have
there?
no idea.
Oh, all right.
That good, huh?
No, I just started watching it the other day. I liked it. I thought it was funny. I think it was
So
interesting.
the trailer made me intrigued
Yeah.
because of Mike Myers' shtick,
He's great. in
right?
it.
Like all of his shtick
didn't see
seemed
the
really
trailer for
good,
it.
but I didn't know where it was going from that trailer. So that's why I didn't watch it, because I didn't know exactly like what they were
boy, you
going to
don't
do.
know what's going on in it.
Okay.
It's silly. It's slapstick
It's
comedy.
like a
What was the last movie that Myers put out? What was it?
The Love Guru?
The Love Guru.
That was trash.
That was
Yeah.
horrible.
Yeah. But it was the same kind of thing. You know, he's playing all these different characters. And this one especially, he plays like almost all the characters. And there's enough humor in it that's good enough.
And
And
I
then
think
there's
that's
a
what
little
they-
bit of sweetness to it that's kind of
but
nice.
that's what they were selling it on, is that Mike Myers is playing all these characters.
Yeah. It's just a straight up slapstick, goofy, Monty Python style, Mike Myers style.
Do you guys want to see another Austin Powers? Would you like to see him? I would love to see Austin Powers in the
I mean,
culture
I don't-
nowadays. Like right now with woke culture being what it is.
Ooh, that actually is a really good premise.
I know.
I don't think I would hate it.
No, I'd watch it.
I think I'd watch it because it's relevant
God,
to today.
Amazing that those movies got made, and that
Like,
they
if you
were
push
everything.
When did
back
they
then.
come? I remember, was it early 2000s that they came out?
90s and early
Late
2000s.
90s and
Late
early
90s. I remember-
2000s. Remember how huge they were, though?
Oh,
Oh
man.
my gosh, everybody watched them.
It's just so ridiculous.
Elizabeth Hurley in the first one, who was in the second.
Was it Elizabeth Hurley?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, she was in it.
That was the first one. I can't remember the girl in the second one.
Oh, it was
Heather-
Graham.
Heather
Graham.
Yeah.
I like
I
that
do.
style of humor. And it felt a little, I'm going to be honest, it felt a little refreshing to see it. And I don't know if that's nostalgic, because Mike
Maybe it
Myers'
is.
style of comedy is very specific.
Yeah.
And I think that it felt very like Austin Powers-y type thing. So there's probably some nostalgic value.
I
to it.
guarantee you that's what they were going for.
I would love to see a Wayne's World remake.
Well, yes.
I mean, I
Yes.
cannot believe that isn't happening. I don't think he's been like out there trying to actively.
I don't know how you
What
could do it.
happened to Mike Myers? Because he was huge.
He made all the money in the world making 800 Shrek movies.
Yeah.
Don't forget about that.
Yeah, and then just stopped.
He's like one
Donkey.
of them. He is, I think, the number 2 highest grossing actor of all time.
No way.
Yeah, between Austin Powers and Shrek and a bunch of other stuff that he's been in.
Wow.
So I married an
really?
ex-murderer.
Wow, that was way early.
Yeah.
I don't know how that popped in there.
Made a lot of money on Shrek, I think.
Yeah.
I can't. Yeah.
Oh, Shrek, I'm sure.
I think, Samuel L. Jackson's obviously way up there. Will Smith's way up there.
Was.
Ooh.
Okay, I got a couple more. We're probably running out of time.
Yeah, we're at 2 hours right now.
Okay, fine. I'm going to talk about these two. HBO Max series, recommended to me by my mother,
Oh, mama.
and
Okay.
it's a show called Hacks. And
Never
it
heard
is
of it.
about this kind of like washed up Vegas stand-up comedian woman.
A hack.
No, I mean, she's like very famous and popular, but she's like at the end of her career. And she hires, of course, this very woke, young, up and coming comedy writer woman
Oh, I saw
Okay.
the
to
previews
kind
for
of
that.
help update her set and her writing.
Sure.
And it's really just it's a comedy, but it's also mostly about like the relationship there. And I'm going to tell you, the first several episodes, I was just like angry that I had wasted time watching it. I'm like, this is like woke garbage.
I'm surprised you wasted that much time
Yeah.
to
But
get
I
through
actually
it.
started really liking it and enjoying it. And now it's season 2 just came out.
Who's in it? I forget.
Oh man, what is her name? You know her if you see her.
I know because I remember the previews in it. Maybe it was for the season 2 or something. I remember like
Jean Smart is the main character. Let me get the picture for you. No, this lady.
It's an HBO show?
You know that lady? You've seen her.
Oh,
and
yeah.
stuff?
oh
She's like the main character.
Gene Smart.
Okay.
Yeah, HBO Max. So that's all right. Another one that people have been telling us for years to be watching.
Okay.
Everybody has been suggesting us to watch the show Travelers on Netflix. We've heard it many times
Really?
on the podcast. Yes. Are you
I
kidding me?
don't remember that.
So I started watching
Travelers?
it. Yeah, it's got the guy from Will and Grace. Will,
Okay.
you know him?
Yeah, I know who you're talking about.
It's a show that I kind of got sucked in. I think it's on its 4th season, and I'm probably on the last season that's out now. It is a show about these travelers, they call them. And what happens is they are people from the future, thousands of years in the future. And when somebody in our current timeline is about to die, right at the moment before they die, they have figured out in the future that they can send somebody's consciousness back into that person's body.
Oof.
So they travel back through time
That's
by
a
sending
lot.
their consciousness to that person. That person then avoids whatever death they were about to have because they know the historical
Sure.
record. So, and then they take over their life and they go about their mission of trying to change whatever's happening in the present that makes the future terrible.
Wow.
Like Terminator style.
Yeah.
You know, the future is an unbearable hellscape. You know, so that's what it's about. They come back in time, and they're always on these teams. So there'll be like a leader, a soldier, one they call the historian, and that's the person they've genetically modified to memorize everything in the historical record. So they come back, they know all the horse race winners, they know the World Series winners, they know them, and they bet sports games to make the money, to
Wow.
set up their little team
Okay.
to go on these little missions to avert whatever disaster.
That sounds awesome.
It is. But as they change stuff, the future also changes. And then there's also a war raging in the future
Right.
between two different factions. All of this is orchestrated in the future by what's called the director, which is a all-powerful artificial intelligence that directs how they live their lives and also sends them back into the past and does all the calculations to decide what missions they need to run and stuff.
That's an older show, isn't it?
5th season. It's been out for 5 years.
On what platform?
Netflix.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
Gosh,
Why-
I've
why-
never seen it.
Why haven't we watched it?
Don't
Yeah,
know,
I
but
haven't
I've been
seen
recommended by many
anything
people.
about it.
I'd never heard of it until, I think it was David and Victor and a bunch of other people were telling us to watch it. So I started watching it, and it's good. It's pretty good. It's well produced.
sounds
It's
really
well made. The
good. Yeah.
acting is great.
The premise sounds really
The
good.
premise is very interesting. It's a kind of a,
I can already see the director being the bad guy in the end.
it goes up and down, you know. I will say it has the feel more of like a network show where it's kind of got a week to week vibe,
Yeah.
but also has overarching storylines. So, hey, we don't usually get that kind of sci-fi.
No, we don't.
So
Yeah.
I'm all about supporting that kind of sci-fi when we do get it. So I've been watching that. That's all
That's
I got.
awesome.
Anything else for you, dude?
No, I was in Texas for there for a couple months, so I didn't get to watch a whole lot. I watched The Expanse, which season 5 was it? Which was amazing, but you guys haven't watched it.
Yeah, I watched the first. I haven't watched the newest season.
It's pretty good. A lot more naval battles, a lot more action.
Bigger budget.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Finally.
I got nothing.
No.
No, nothing. I don't.
Nothing?
I haven't watched much.
Want to talk about peanut butter some more?
Well, yeah, I could.
Matt,
Promise you.
Matt just asked earlier, creamy or chunky peanut butter, but he must have missed that part of the discussion.
Yeah, he did.
All right, I guess that's end of our time, episode 151, and we're looking forward to being back on a more regular basis now that spring work has kind of calmed down.
Finally,
Baseball
Chris.
is still problematic,
Oh, it's still raging.
Yeah.
Baseball. is
Got
every
baseball
day.
tomorrow morning.
but we'll be back as soon as we possibly can. For Snarf Talk this week, I've been Chris.
I'm Dude.
I am Jerry.
See ya.
Bye bye. I missed that music.